What's up, everybody? Appreciate it. Thank you for being here once again. My name is Tarek. This is my channel. And if this is your first time, welcome to Talkback Tuesdays. If you've been here before, appreciate you being back. But this is the show where you get a chance to have your say. I'm on streams, I'm on different shows or whatever most days of the week, and I do spend a lot of my time talking at you, telling you what I think, what I believe, what I feel about footy or whatever is the topic of the day. But this is a chance to turn the tables, and you get to tell me what you feel, what you think, how you feel about the day's events. We're going to talk about a lot of different things here. But this is your chance to have your say. So once again, welcome to Talk Back Tuesdays. If this is your first time, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Goes a long way to helping me as I try to grow my channel. I should put this banner up, but we are pushing towards trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you're not already a subscriber, please do. It will help tremendously. But yeah, we're going to jump into a lot of different topics today. We're going to talk UCL playoffs. We're going to talk, of course, City, Newcastle, the upcoming match against Leeds. We got, just Premier League in general, title race. We got Micah Richards. Conversation about him, his role as an ambassador for the club. Is he an Arsenal fan? Is he a City fan? We got so much to talk about. Then, of course, there's always transfer rumors. But also, we like to talk about whatever's on your mind. So if you're in the chat, feel free to leave your thoughts, leave your comments in the chat. It helps to drive the conversation. But also, there is a link. There is a link pinned at the top of the chat. And if you are a person that wants to come on screen and have a conversation with me, whether that be for just a quick 5 minutes, or if you want to come on and hang out all night, well, not all night because that's a little long for me, but either way, we'll definitely get you on. But yeah, just click that link in that pin chat. Do the same thing that Louis has done. Louis joining us like he does most weeks. Just going to be a regular member of the panel here. So I appreciate you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, all good. How about you, mate?
Doing well, man. Glad to be back. Glad to be here. Glad to talk City. So, and glad that you're here with me. So definitely makes it so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
So today UCL. So we got to start there. A lot of matches played today. Atleti beat Club Bruges 4-1 on the night. Ended up with a 7-4 aggregate score line. So Atleti's going to move on to the next round. I don't know who they have the potential to get. I didn't pay attention to that.
Liverpool or Spurs?
Liverpool or Spurs. Okay, so Atleti's going to get one of Liverpool or Spurs.
Suloff hat trick as well.
Who got a hat trick?
Soloff, the former Palace striker.
Interesting. I didn't see that he had a hat trick. I was watching. They had the little wraparound show, so it kind of goes between all the different games and matches. So yeah, I was watching that one. So it kind of was bouncing back and forth. I didn't see any one game the whole time. But yeah, so Atleti's going to move on. That means Julian Alvarez gets to go to the next round and maybe match up against Liverpool or Tottenham. Either way, he's getting a Premier League team. So there you go. Also on the day, Leverkusen, the ones that could not find a way to play Echeverry or Echemessi, if you're LB or a member of LB's fam. So, but yeah, Leverkusen, they drew 0-0 with Olympiacos. They had done their business in the first leg. They got the 2-0 aggregate score line, and that was enough to see them through. Do you know who they're matching up with? Is it one of the other?
Bayern or Arsenal?
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for Leverkusen. Bayern or Arsenal. I mean, again, if they get Bayern, it's within, the same league. So at least they would be familiar with Bayern. They've played them a couple times, but Yeah, I think that's probably as far as Leverkusen is gonna go. I don't know that they go beyond that. That's gonna be tough for them.
Mm.
At least it feels like it should be tough. Newcastle. Newcastle beat Karabag 3-2 on the day. Again, they had done all of their business in the first leg. I think they were up 6-1 in the first leg. So they ends up with a 9-3 aggregate score line. Newcastle just blew them away in this tie. Um, which is weird. Not I'm gonna say weird, but it just goes to show that
Yeah.
the strength of the Premier League because we just put them to the sword this weekend. Now again, they had their moments, but and again it is Karabakh, but 9-3 is a ridiculous scoreline, aggregate scoreline. But it's not the worst we've seen. I think I've seen one that's at like 12-0 or something like that over a
Yeah,
course
they
of two
posted
legs.
it. Yeah, I saw it posted the
Yeah.
earlier today, but I never clocked which ones they were.
Yeah, they were all like older. There was a
I
City
think I
one
think
from like
I think
19.
I think our win against Leipzig, where Haaland got 5 goals. I think that's one of the highest ever like single goal scoring games from a
Mm,
single team.
yeah, I know
But not
we
like
our score line I think was 10-1, maybe 10-2.
um
So it might have been eight goal
um
differences.
Salka. We beat them 3-2 at their ground and we beat them 7-0 at our ground
That's what's up.
in
Uh
2019.
Big up Darsh. How you doing,
Big up
sir?
us.
Hi there, guys. All good.
Doing all right?
All good. Yeah, all good, man.
So
Night time
for
over here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's late for you guys. For anybody that's watching online, or if you're able to see the chat, you've seen that Darsh left some comments there about a group that he's involved with, trying to raise funds. So I wanted to give Darsh a few minutes to kind of just talk about it, and we can do this again later on if you're still on. I know it's going to be late for you, but let me get Keely on real quick before we do that. But yeah, what's up, Keely?
Hello, fellas. How's everything going?
Doing all right. Hey, we're gonna give Darsh a few minutes to kind of talk about what he's doing,
Absolutely.
crowdfunding. So with the charity over there. So go ahead, Darsh, take it away, man.
Yeah, thanks. As previously mentioned on Ranking Road last night, I've been in a group at university and we decided to do a crowdfunder with a charity called Teams United Fighting Cancer. And obviously, put two and two together, we want to raise funds for provisions to help young people, teenagers, etc., to cope with cancer with their daily lives because we understand that when teenagers get cancer, it halts a good majority of their youth, whether it's in education, whether that's from different career paths they can undertake. Because of that illness, they obviously have to stop their lives and receive treatment and they change their schedule around. And we thought that was if we're able to get those donations, it doesn't just ensure that these provisions can help them on our physical side of things in terms of getting healthy, but it helps them make sure that they can pursue other educational wonderful dreams or futures they want to pursue, and ultimately, if we can put a smile on their faces, if that's necessary through any activity that teens might want to construct, because obviously this is a time on their life where there's anxiety, there's fear of their future. We don't know, obviously, they're not gonna live or not, and I just thought if we could give them a fighting chance, then I'm happy with it. If you want to donate £1, £10, £20, or whatever currency you want to put in, that's fine by me. Any donation helps. So yeah, it's quite personal for me because I know people that have been affected by it. So it's a cause I've been doing for the past month and a half, trying to construct. And yeah, that's about it, man. So I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in again. So yeah, thank you for that, Eric.
Oh man, no problem. I appreciate it. Um, cancer in general is a tough, tough diagnosis, and often you think about what it could lead to and all the different things. And so that's just in general. But then you think about childhood cancer, teens, young people. It's really a tough diagnosis. So I appreciate one thing I appreciate about the city fan base in general is, there's often things like this that you all are getting involved in. And when I say you all, I'm just talking to city fans in general, getting involved in to try to make the world a better place. It's not just about the footy. We love that. That's what brings us all together. But there's so much more that people are interested in, and just trying to make a difference and trying to make an impact. And so I appreciate you for what you're trying to do. Like I said, if you're listening and you want to be a part, there's a link that he posted in the chat. You'll have to scroll through to find it, but go ahead and hit that link. It looks like this: crowdfunder.co.uk. And then you can donate whatever you want to give, whatever you're able to give. I'm certain that he appreciates all of the support. So it is there. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to make a poll here in a minute, but I want to ask you first, Darsh. I don't know if you're going to hang on or you're going to drop off, but we just saw Bodo Glimt, which we haven't talked about yet, but Bodo Glimt just beat Inter, and they are going to advance to the next round, which means that let me just go ahead and make this poll while I'm trying to do this, if I can remember how to do this, which means we can either get Real Madrid / Benfica, whoever wins that tie tomorrow, or Bodo Glimt. Which team would you rather face in the next round? The winner of Benfica, Real Madrid, or Bodo Glimt? We just saw Bodo Glimt win their third straight game against big club opposition. They beat us. Fourth game technically. They beat us. They beat Atleti, and then they've beaten Inter 2 straight matches. So they seem to be. I killed them when we lost to them. I killed us first of all, but I thought no reason we should be losing to them, but we did, and you see that they can beat anybody on their day. So, who would you rather face? Who do you think is the best that we want to face?
Yeah, I think before we've faced Bolton in the group stage before. All right, classic pitch, Norway. Yeah, it's all right. We'll smash them, and then go into that match 5:45 p.m. in UK time, or any other time in any other state that you're in, or anyone in the chat's in, and yeah, we got absolutely fucking cooked, left, right, and centre. And the day where we realised that while they never had a Champions League win before, we knew that with Norwegian teams, they have that same physicality, they have that same athleticism as what Liga and the Premier League has here, but they all have a bit of technical ability. And I think many people have underestimated that side of Bodo Glimt. And I think when they beat us, they brought that energy to Inter Milan, who I thought even then underestimated as well. And maybe portrayed as a pretty win, but they've done against Inter Milan and convincingly. So for me, between them or a Benfica or Real, I think they'll be more dangerous than a Real Madrid or Benfica.
Interesting.
I think obviously Real Madrid and Benfica will have quality that surpasses them, but that quality is determined to be whether they play as a team or as individuals. With Real Madrid, you can definitely say they're more individualistic in most ways. Benfica and Mourinho, I've not seen too much of them, so I'm not going to comment on that much. But what we can definitely say is that Bodo Glimt plays a team. They definitely play the team for each other, for the fans. You can't underestimate them, and it can be very easy to underestimate them. But for sure, they're dangerous.
Yeah. Big up, bro. I don't know if you're going to hang on or not, but appreciate you Thanks for coming on and sharing about your charity.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be back in the chat, man. Obviously, but yeah, big up Laurie Keeley. No, the first time you will probably catch another time, Keeley. Not enough to.
Big up, Dash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on you for doing
big up.
that thing, mate. We're all proud of you,
Yeah.
so keep it up.
Yeah, big up Darth for it. It's a
Yeah.
really good cause.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll be back in the chat.
Appreciate
Awesome,
it, man.
Good to see you.
All right. So yeah, I touched on Inter, Bodo Glimp, Inter won, and I did post that poll. So I know you guys on the stream with me, you probably can't see it because it doesn't show up in here anywhere that I'm aware of. But if you're in the chat, if you're watching, there is a poll. I want to know who you prefer for the next round. Who do you want to match up with? Do you want Real Madrid / Benfica, whoever wins? I'm assuming it's going to be Real just because it is always Real, right? Do you want Real Madrid or would you rather go to Bodo Glimp? Even though Bodo Glimp is the smaller club in name, they seem to be giant killers right now. Do we want to go up against that or do we want to go up against the big boys and take our chances with Real Madrid? At the end of the day, if you ask me, I think we beat either one of them. I don't think it really matters. I think we're going to beat either team and go on to advance, but it won't be easy. Snoopy says that's not a great stylistic matchup because of their ability to be compact and be clinical on the break, which is our issue. But that's actually why I want them. So we'll see. Matthew Hoyle says, when do we find out who we play? The draw is on Friday. And I think when they do the draw,
it's 11 in the clock. It's 11 o'clock in the morning for us in England. So
okay. So that would mean if it's 11 o'clock for you, that means it's a 5 o'clock in the morning. No, 6 o'clock in the morning for me. So yeah, I won't be up to watch it real time. I will see it whenever I wake up. But yeah, so Friday we get the draw on Friday, and the way I understand it is that they will draw both the round of 16, the quarterfinals, and the semifinals. So we'll know the whole
brackets.
path.
Yeah, the brackets within the brackets, basically, and whatnot.
Yeah. So we should know the whole path from here to the end, who we would end up with. Of course, it depends on who wins, but we'll know and we get the winner of these two matches or whatever. So yeah, it should be interesting. We'll get there. So what were your thoughts? So in the Inter match, did you guys see any of it?
Yeah, I did. I watched the whole game.
Or any highlights or anything like that?
No, unfortunately, I didn't watch it.
So, of course, coming into this, Inter were down 3-0. They were down 3-0 based on the first leg. Was it 3-1? Yeah, 3-1. Sorry. 3-1 after the first leg. So they were already down. They came in, and then I don't know what time it was in the match, but big mistake by Akanji.
Who else?
Who gives the ball away basically right and maybe just outside the D. And then stops playing. He just throws his hands up, slaps the pitch, whatever. But he's just standing there kind of jogging while they're, was it 2-on-1 on goal? And of course they get the goal to make
Someone
it.
Does well. Someone does well initially, but
he makes the initial save, and then but the deflection.
Yeah, I guess it's the way like the shot comes in and the way he positions himself to save it, because he's like on his feet and he's not going to ground. It's like he like pushes it away and
because he's standing. He parries it to the right. He pairs it to the right, and then the other attacker from Bodo Glimp is just right there.
The number 10.
Yeah,
I don't know how you say his name.
I don't know. He just left foots it into the goal, wide open. So that makes it 4-1, and effectively ends the tie right there. And it's a major, major mistake. Snoopy said, "Who did he think was back there?" I don't know, because he starts to drive into midfield and push the ball up the pitch, and then he gets they kind of spring a little trap on him. So two players come and he plays it back kind of towards goal, but not straight back. It's kind of angled, but no pace on it. It's not getting anywhere near his teammate, and it's just a really bad look for Akanji. I didn't see he had a wrap on his head. He had obviously been in a collision and was probably bleeding.
Yeah,
So
like around his eye, like around here, basically.
yeah,
He got
so
cut really badly.
it's almost like, did he have a concussion? Could he not see what was going on? And I know those probably aren't the case, and it's me just being silly and making excuses for the guy, but it was a really, really bad mistake. I know there's a lot of conversation about him going and staying with Inter. Um, that kind of mistake, man, you're gonna lose the fan base. We knew that he was a good defender, but he to borrow a phrase from LB, he had the bozo gene. There were moments where he was gonna have a bozo, and he
Tactically,
had one
ta-
tonight, unfortunately. So
tactically though, he's unbelievable how he was for City.
yeah,
Even in his 3-year stint, he was unbelievably tactically wise. But when it came to the guy, like when it came to the pressure points, he's never one you rely upon.
yeah. And again, I don't want to kill him because he did play well for us, and he did put his body, like so many of our defenders do. They put their body, so many of our players, not just the defenders, but they put their bodies on the line, and they give everything that they have to the club. And I know he came out with some comments earlier this week, where basically he said something to the, and I don't have it in front of me. I didn't have bookmark it, I don't think, in Twitter, but basically said something to the effect of, you are loyal to the club, but the club's not always loyal to you, and then you felt he needed to go. And so, of course, that didn't go down well with a lot of City fans. Did you see those comments? Did either of you see those comments?
Yeah, I did,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll let Keely speak first.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was only literally just thinking, like, the comments didn't mean anything to me. It was nothing bigger than, it's not a big deal or anything like that. But is it a coincidence that he's gone and made a mistake after making comments like that? I'm just chucking it out there. Like, I've nothing against Akanji, but he's been pretty good all season for Inter, is he not? And then this is one of the first times he's kind of slipped up. It's not what we want to see, because it was looking like he was going to get that permanent move to Inter, and I don't see them not wanting to go and get him now because of one mistake. And I think for the price that they could get him for, he's a great option. And like Louis said, he's a great tactical and technical defender. He's pretty rare, his profile, to be able to play in the multiple positions that he can. So I don't see why Inter wouldn't pick him up still. But yeah, he's going to have to come back and try and hit the ground running again, because it's a big mistake and a big moment, and now Inter are obviously out of the competition. So
yeah, Snoopy posted that there was a buyback clause, or not a buy clause, but a trigger, so that made it basically a requirement for him to pick him up. So
I think it's
we believe he's played enough games. So
I think it's 15 mil, but it's also dependent on if they win Serie A as well, which seems like Inter are, because.
So is it based on winning Serie A, not just how many games or whatever?
50%, like plays 50% of the games minimum, and Inter winning Serie A. But I think with how he's been, yeah, I'd be amazed if they say no, we're not going to buy him, we're not going to activate the release clause, like the activation of the option to buy.
Gotcha. Big up, Ryjack. How you doing, man? Glad to see you as always. If you ever want to jump on, just hit that link in the pin messages, pin chat, and we'll get you on. Also, big up to Ash. Appreciate you always supporting. Thank you so much. Snoopy says that Inter are 8 points clear in Serie A. So again, still a little ways to go. Hopefully they go ahead and, well, I don't really care if they win it, other than I want them to make sure that they make that deal permanent. So big up to Magnus, who is joining us on screen. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well, Tarek. How are you doing?
Doing well, man. Can't complain.
Yeah. Just hold on a second.
Sure. No. So Snoopy said he didn't see the comments. And again, we were talking about the comments that were made by Kanji earlier in the week. And then, of course, he goes and he makes the mistake today. Again, those two things don't necessarily have to be related. And we're not trying to kill a Kanji because at the end of the day, he did well for the club. But, it just, I don't want to say karma, but it's one of those things where you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you put attention on yourself. You draw attention to you and your play, and then you go make a mistake in what is on the biggest stages. UCL, second game of the tie. Gotta win it if you're going to advance, and you give away a goal that basically breaks your heart and breaks your chances of advancing. So tough break for Kanji. Tough break for Ender, who go out and opens the door for Bodo Glimt to move on. And so if you're watching, there is a poll. I definitely want you, if you can, if you're able to, if you're not in your car or if you're whatever, if you're in front of your computer or tablet, whatever, and you have the ability to vote in the poll, I want you to vote the poll because I want to know, after seeing Bodo Glimt be the giant killers that they've been the last 4 UCL matches, I want to know from you, who would you rather see in the next round? Would you rather see Bodo Glimt and just believe that we're just going to be better than them? Or would you rather see Real Madrid / Benfica, whoever wins that tie? Again, I'm trying. It's probably going to be Real Madrid that wins it. So who would you rather see? Louis, who would you rather see?
Go on, Louis.
Can we just
say it?
Can we just skip it to the quarterfinals, please? Can we just skip because
we got to get through whoever it's one of these two teams to get there.
It's like I think but the Bodo Glimt was like, I think people underestimated them, and I think people are going to underestimate them again, even though they beat us, and that's what worries me. And they
say it, mean it, Louis. People didn't estimate them. I estimated them. I came on here and I crucified us after we lost to them. I said it was embarrassing that we lost to a team called Bodo Glimt. I said, yes, we were shorthanded. We didn't have all of our players. We played a lineup that was whatever. But I said it didn't matter who we rolled out there. If they put on that sky blue shirt, we absolutely should be destroying Bodo Glimt, and I have been proven wrong. I've been made to eat crow. I have been one of those people that has to look back and say, you know what? I was one of those people that overlooked them and didn't give them enough credit. So yeah, it's okay. You can call me out on my show, man. It's all right.
No, I'm not calling you out there because I think there was a lot more people. Like, I think there was a lot more people who just like they looked at Bodo Glimt like Wolves or Salford, Plymouth, whoever else. No, it wasn't Plymouth. No, Exeter, and they weren't. They've showed their quality. They beat Atletico at their ground. They've beaten Inter home and away. So I'm not like, even if we get some good result against them, like if we face them in the round of 16, I still don't think we comfortably beat them at the Etihad as well. I think it'll be a really tight game. So I'd rather, because of the tactical way the game is being played, I'd rather face Real and have that chaos ball. That's how I'm going. That's how I'm going with it, even though we played Real Madrid the same as Newcastle, blah 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 blah. So yeah, like pick your poison and see what Pep cooks or not cooks. Basically, that's how I'm. I'm like, whoever we face, it might be Benfica, but I hope they get cooked tomorrow night. But I think it'll be Real, like you said. So, yeah.
All right, Magnus.
Well, my point of view on this, I want to play Bodo. I want to get revenge. I want to.
Have you seen what they did to Inter?
I don't care. I don't care. If we're gonna get beyond this team, and think about potentially winning it, we've got to get these minions out of the way. I don't think that they're. I think.
Did you say minions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he
I
called
just don't think that they're that good. I honestly don't think that they're that good. I think they caught us on the hop last time, and I know they've done really well in subsequent games, but I'm not. I don't want. I think a lot of this is coming from. I don't want to play Real Madrid again. I'm just so bored of that fixture, you know.
And it's always such a stressful fixture too.
Yeah, it's just it's overblown.
So Keely, are you in agreement? You rather see Bodo Glimt next round?
Well, I wanted to add to what Lewis said. Bodo have obviously proved this, not just this season, but ever since they've been kind of introduced into Europe when they made the Europa League and they made the semi-final and they went on a massive push. And then obviously they've been in the Champions League. Is it the last 2 seasons now? Or was it just this season? Correct me if wrong. But they've clearly proven that they can put up a fight against these big clubs, whether it's home or away. They're a hard team to play. But I genuinely think over 2 legs, we could beat them. I don't see why we couldn't get over them in the 2 legs. Yes, the away fixture could be difficult with the weather and such, plastic pitch. But I think if they come to the Etihad and we turn it on like we know we can, I don't see any team being able to stop us at home. So I'd be confident in a 2-legged tie against Bodo. Obviously, the away leg would be tricky, but I don't see why we don't get through that fixture. Like Magnus said also, I am very bored of Madrid. It's one of those things, it's just written in the stars, isn't it? Like, it's probably, we're bound to get them, aren't we? Let's be real. But, it's just frustrating. It's such a frustrating tie because they're one of those teams that just, it's clear they're not in great form this season, but they'll show up against us. They always do. It's one of those teams. It's a bit like Spurs. They just rock up randomly and they're always there for those big, hard games. So, by the way, I'm not saying Real Madrid are anything like Spurs, so that's not what I tried to say there. But, yeah.
No, you said they're Spursy. That's okay. Yeah, that's all right.
They're just a frustrating team. They just rock up and they always want to have a good game against us. And it feels like it's a constant thing every single season.
Yeah. Ash said in speaking about Real Madrid, the new manager bounce, plus they get Rudiger and Huijsen, and the others are back from injury. So definitely wants to have Bodo as opposed to Real Madrid. I understand why people don't want to play Real Madrid because again we do play them all the time. I think the Real Madrid tie, while it will be chaos because it always is, it's a more you kind of know what you're gonna get. Bodo is just like this. We've played them already, but it still feels like an unknown, especially going there. You don't know what you're going to get, especially if you go like Inter did. You go away for the first leg and then you get down by multiple goals. Then you're banking on getting goals at home, and they're going to be compact. They're going to just try to keep you out. God forbid they hit you on the break again. So it'll be interesting to see who we get in that next round. I don't know. I think if you were to put me on the spot, I would probably say I would rather face. I think I'd say I'd rather face Real Madrid, even though that sounds really silly because it's, again, it's Bodo Glimt. We should beat them. That's all the stuff that I was saying. We should just go out there and run over them, and that's not how that works. So we'll see. Anyway, to wrap up on the Champions League, tomorrow is the last ties of this round. We've got Atalanta versus Dortmund. Dortmund comes in with a 2-0 aggregate advantage, so they'll probably advance. Juventus and Galatasaray. Galatasaray has it's up 5-2 in that tie. So again, chances are that Galatasaray will advance. PSG versus Monaco is closer. It's a 3-2 aggregate score line right now with PSG in the lead. So they'll be at home tomorrow. So we'll see if Monaco can pull anything out of that. Otherwise, probably expect that PSG is going to advance, but it's close, so we'll see. And then, of course, Real Madrid versus Benfica. We go into that match with Real Madrid holding a 1-0 lead on that tie going to the Bernabeu. So, again, that's why I say that chances are that Real Madrid will advance. But you never know.
The brackets for those are Dortmund, Atalanta for Arsenal and Bayern. Galatasaray, Juve is Spurs or Liverpool. Monaco or PSG is Barca or Chelsea, and obviously Benfica Real is for us or Sporting.
You know, Ryjack, when you put it like this, Tarek wants Mbappe, lovely choice. Yeah, that does feel really silly, doesn't it? Why would you want to go up against Mbappe and Vinny Jr. and why would you want to do that? That doesn't sound like someone that's got any real common sense. So, yeah,
Who's Beckenbauer is going to pocket him? Who's Beckenbauer is going to pocket him?
Yeah. So we're going to get into this at some point here in a minute because we're going to talk about, the city matches. And I want to know folks' thoughts because what you just said is basically Kuzanov playing as opposed to, I'm assuming, Ruben Diaz. We're going to get into that because I want to know where people stand. But yeah, Ryjack, that probably is a silly choice because Mbappe can hurt you in so many different ways. And if I had to see Mbappe coming on the break or one of Bodo's players coming on the break, who would I rather see? I would rather see a Bodo player just because I know Mbappe's a killer, right? We all know Mbappe's a killer. So no, I don't want to see that dude running that goal, say one-on-one against Donnarumma. So I think I might have to change my vote. Yes, Bodo Glimt they're playing well and they've been giant killers. But you just made me think of, you know what? It brought it all back to my mind. It all came flooding back. And I saw all the things. I saw all the attacks. I saw all of it. And I was like, no, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through that again.
You saw all the late goals, the dramatic goals.
Yeah.
You heard so much. Ole in your head and you're like, please, no.
You know what I saw in my head? I saw
Rodri getting sent off.
No, I didn't see that. God forbid. But what's the left winger? Well, the right winger.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. I saw him scoring goals when he doesn't score against anybody else all season long, basically, but he scores against us, and that's the killer. It's like people they get up to play us. So I don't know.
Yeah, Rodrigo scoring will somehow be Savinho's fault still.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing?
Let's not go there.
Because they're going to say he should have left or whatever. Yeah, so we will see how that all turns out. But yeah, Champions League, like I said earlier, the draw, if anybody that wasn't here earlier, the draw for the next round will the rest of the rounds will take place on Friday. Louis said it's at 11 o'clock UK time, which will be 6 o'clock in the morning US or Eastern time.
With all the like chit chat and whatnot, it will be like half an hour later though, obviously.
Yeah. No way can we play the Norwegian fishermen. Give me the guys who almost the World Cup leading goal scorer of all time. Yeah. To be fair, to be fair, at least it's not the Bayern Munich goal song. That would be pure trauma. Effing clown music echoing after conceding every goal. Wow. We'll see. We gotta get through whoever we get next. So if it's Bodo Glimt, we got to get through them. But let's be fair. Yeah. Let's be honest. It's probably gonna be Real Madrid just because that's what always happens. But it could set up a David versus Goliath type matchup against Bodo Glimt, again the small club versus the big club, and for all the talk about Little City, and in that matchup we would actually be the big club.
Yeah, that's right.
No matter what the haters say.
Yep.
So anyway, that's the Champions League. Let's pivot to Premier League. We had a match on the weekend. We played Newcastle. And went on to win that match. In my opinion, Nico Riley was the man of the match. What were your thoughts on the match, Louis? Start with you. Anything that stood out to you?
Holland definitely looked back in form again. He really looked up for it. He was unlucky a couple of times that he didn't get a goal, especially at the end where afterwards Phil he just picked the ball up with ease from the edge of the box, and I thought he was going to score. The moment he got the touch, I was thinking, what side do you want to pick to score? And Pope does brilliantly to get his foot out to save it. Yeah, Nico O'Reilly. I think it might. I don't know if you're going to bring it up later with some reports from earlier, but yeah, Nico O'Reilly was just immense tonight. Like on Saturday night, I really underestimated him, and he's a lot better than I actually thought he was. So credit to him for proving me wrong. So yeah, really impressed with him, and unbelievably solid again. Even though the second half had its problems as usual, but I think there's going to be some tinkering which will help us out in the future. But yeah, really
Yeah,
impressive
definitely.
Erling and
Again, it's
O'Reilly.
not a clean second half yet, but I don't think it was as bad as it maybe felt in the moment when you think about the fact that they didn't really have any big chances.
I was
And
more
the ones that
impressed
they
with.
did kind of got shut out by Donnarumma in the back line. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was more impressed. I was more impressed with our win against Newcastle than Arsenal's win over Spurs, because I was kind of expecting Arsenal to do that in a way.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think
it's like that kind of win for us is just, especially with how it is now, and knowing that every single game is going to be under a crucifix, like under the microscope, with how the gap is the games that, like, the game in hand we have and facing Arsenal as well at the Etihad. It's yeah.
There's a question here from Kathy, and I think Ash may have answered it. What about Newcastle again, going back to Champions League? Couldn't they get Chelsea? And
Yeah, they
Ash answers and says it's either Chelsea or Barca for Newcastle. So we'll see what they end up with. Again, I think all of the Premier League teams have advanced to the next round. So again, when you think about what that means for the what's the word I'm
Coefficient.
looking for? The coefficient. Yeah. So again, we would expect there to be at least 5 teams. In the past it was 4, but it's going to be at least 5 teams that'll get into Champions League spaces or places. So yeah. Ryjack says, was happy with the second half. Let them have the ball. Didn't really concede any chances. At no point did they look like scoring. And I think that's kind of where I stood too. Before we get to the second half, Magnus, Keely, anything that you guys wanted to say or call out? Again, we know Nico O'Reilly got 2 goals. We ended up giving up a goal that was a deflection by it was deflected off of Aït-Nouri. So again, yes, it was 2-1 at half, but it felt like, again, it could have been 2-0. That deflected goal, you can't really do anything about it. But I don't look at it as a letdown on our side. It was just a fluke goal that ends up going in. Anything that you guys wanted to call about that first half?
I just want to echo what Louis was saying there about Haaland. I thought that was a tremendous performance. That he didn't end up getting on the score sheet, but he assisted beautifully for O'Reilly's was it second goal? And his overall performance, he even helped out in the defense. He was all over the place. He looked shattered at the end of the game. Did you see him where Rodri was helping him off the field? He was picking him up. He'd really put everything into it. I thought that was a great performance from Erling. I thought it was really good. I think overall, we're going to see a lot more games like that from now until the end of the season, whereby you can see we're not quite, firing on all cylinders, you can see what we're trying to do by giving up a lot of possession and letting teams come onto us in order to invite that pressure, so we can do the transitional football. So we will be reliving moments like that between now and the end of the season in the 11 games that are remaining in the league. But it's just the way things are right now. And I know a lot of people say, oh, we should be seeing these teams off, 4 or 5. And no. You're not going to. Living in the real world, that's not going to be the way it is. But
especially when you've played a team, 4 times already?
Yeah, I know. It's just the way it is. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get it against Leeds. We're gonna get it against the next so many games, and but we'll be okay. I saw a lot of fight and desire in that team. And did you see Pep's face towards the end of the game?
Yep, his celebration said it all for me.
Yeah, that doesn't look like someone who's going at the end of the season to me.
Mm-hmm. Say it louder.
Interesting observation. So, Keely, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I fully agreed with what Magnus and Lewis said. I just thought Haaland overall looked so involved and so interested in helping out the team, which I think personally, with the way we're playing now, regardless if Haaland's on the score sheet or not, if he can win his individual duels, he can really help benefit the team. So I think if he can stay on top of that and just keep getting everyone else involved in play, like we were seeing, look what we saw from Nico O'Reilly, for example. And I also wanted to talk about, I said this in Ryjack's chat the other day about how I think O'Reilly moving into the midfield, as good as he's been, it's been a blessing in disguise for Aït-Nouri as well. I think we're seeing a great version of Aït-Nouri. And I also think we're seeing an even better version of Nico O'Reilly in the midfield than at fullback. I think he can get in even better spaces than he was able to at left back. And he's like Lewis said, he's immense. He's an unbelievable talent. He's one of those guys that he just looks better and better and more confident every game he plays. So I think he's a lock for midfield. And I really like Aït-Nouri at left back too. I think he's still adapting. It's still his first season. And it's also still O'Reilly's first season in the midfield, even though he started at left back, But yeah, I just think time will tell with Aït-Nouri. I think he can offer so much, and he's a really versatile kind of fullback. I think he come in and people really underestimated his defensive contributions as well. Mm-hmm. I think he can be great, and I can see him being a long stay in the team if he keeps his form up, because I just think he offers a lot, and you can get multiple different profiles out of Aït-Nouri. So there's so much use for him, and especially with O'Reilly playing on that left kind of side of the midfield, and then you've got either Doku or Semenyo or Marmoush who can kind of play off that left, even Foden. Like, we've got so many options. We're really stacked. So it's a really positive sign going forward.
Did anybody just ask this, Tarek? Was anybody kind of surprised? I know there's a few raised eyebrows when the team sheet came out v Newcastle, and a lot of people were kind of like bemoaning that, where's our creativity going to come from? Because we're not playing Cherky, we're not playing Foden, Doku's out. But I think we're going to have games like that whereby we're going to have to be a little bit more workmanlike and physical, try and get around the pitch, and that's why you have that midfield three of O'Reilly, Rodri, and Bernie, all doing layman's work, trying to do what they need to do for the team. I think we might even see this yet again, depending on who the opponents are. So we might have to sacrifice some creativity in order to accommodate the transition that we're trying to achieve.
Well, it's definitely the lineup that he's been going with most recently, with Marmoush starting ahead of either a Cherky or a Foden. I'm still not 100% sold on Marmouche. I think I need to see more from him. And so yes, you're right. The last two matches, at least the last two, there's been, as soon as the lineup comes out, there's an immediate question about where's the creativity, because we think that the creativity only comes from those people that we consider tens, the Turkeys of the world, the Fodens of the world, Foden maybe a 8, whatever. But that's where we see creativity. But Holland plays a perfect cross into Nico Riley at the back post, heads it back across the keeper, right? That's creativity. We wouldn't have thought it coming into the match. We wouldn't have assumed that Holland's going to be the one to play that ball. But the guy's got 7 or 8 assists this season. So again, you can't overlook his contribution even when he's not scoring. He is at times setting up his teammates to get into good position. So it does require creativity to come from other places. We need to see, I think we need to see more from Ait-Nouri. Been very, very, very good, which is why it's frustrating when he gets into those moments with the final ball to either not play the ball. I think it's just about the decisiveness, right? Again, you could say, well, you can't pass it because that ball is going to be taken away, or you could pass it the game before or whatever, right? I don't really care about what the decision was. I just want him to make his mind up and be decisive and go for it. If you're going to go for goal, go for it. What we can't do is you lose the ball in the box and we don't really get a shot off. That can't happen. We got to get at least a for real shot off. Whether the keeper saves it, whether it scores, whatever, that's whatever it is. But you gotta get that. I think he's got to get that final ball, and maybe that's just because you're playing with the Hollands of the world. Do you feel like you just can't pass the ball because if I don't, is he gonna be yelling at me or whatever? I don't know, but I just need that. I need him to get comfortable enough where he's being decisive there, because he's too good to basically give away moments in every game, because he's getting into really good spaces. He's getting into really good opportunities to get shots off or to make that final ball, and it's just coming up short. So definitely, I think I need to see more from him. But I do think, and I agree with you, once he has come back from AFCON, he has definitely played himself into a really good form. He's been good going forward, which we all expected. But he's actually been pretty good defensively too. And I don't think that, based on what everybody said, that we expected him to come in and be good defensively. I think most people assumed he was going to come in and only be good one way going forward, and then he's going to be a liability at the back. But he hasn't been that. He's got pace. He's super, super techie. So he can keep the ball. He can advance the ball. Just that final ball that I want to see more out of him. So we will see.
100%.
So of course it's 2-1 at halftime. We go into halftime. I will tell you that I don't know exactly when I wrote this note, but somewhere between the 34th minute and the 40th minute. So still early in the first, well, not early, but it's still in the first half. I wrote myself a note. Newcastle with Elanga and Gordon look dangerous in transition without the blazing pace of Kuzanov at center back. So I was writing this note not with no expectation that Pep was going to make a change. Quite honestly, no, because Pep doesn't make halftime subs. So I had no expectation that he was going to make this change. Now, again, in the 40th minute is when Diaz got his yellow card. So that might have played into it. But even before the yellow card, I was already saying that he was struggling with his pace. And he ultimately had to kind of block him off the ball because he was going to probably be in on goal. So again, it's a yellow card he had to take. But I think it just kind of highlighted just how much of a mismatch it was pace-wise for Diaz at the back. So the change comes at halftime, and basically all of those counters get shut down. What were your thoughts about the Kuzanov for Diaz switch? We'll start with Keely and we'll work our way back the other way.
I think it didn't come as a surprise to me, to be honest. I think the yellow card definitely probably played into that effect. I've been thinking with the Kusanov thing, he's impressed me a lot more recently compared to what he did at the start of the season.
I agree.
And personally, I think it comes down to who else is playing in the team, to who you play out of Diaz and Kusanov. And when I say that, I mean, I think Pep goes for Diaz if Semenyo and Nunes are on the right side, because Semenyo can contribute defensively. And also this new kind of system we're playing with Bernardo and Rodri and even O'Reilly, they're guys that can contribute defensively as well. It was clear in the second half that we were willing to give up the ball and be a bit more defensive. So my thought is, if we were to play like a Cherky off the right, who's coming into the midfield more, requiring Nunes to go further up the pitch, yes, I'd like Kusanov in the team then. But if we're to have Nunes and Semenyo off the right, with the players who are currently starting the most centrally and stuff, I think Diaz is the right choice for partnering Gahey. I think they're a great partnership, but also that's not discrediting Kusanov and Gahey's partnership either. They've been brilliant when they've played together, and I'd be happy with either, but my personal preference for big games and the final stretch of this season would be Diaz over Kusanov.
Okay. What about you, Magnus?
I pretty much agree with everything he's just said there, Keely. Diaz is obviously the two different types of central defender. One's blessed with lightning pace, one's not. One is very good at organisation and is very much a kind of box defender, blocking shots from short range. He's not one. Playing the high line does not suit Diaz. However, he's done it for many years now, so he's not totally useless at that. But when you come across a speedy winger like Gordon, in the case whereby he picked up his yellow card, you're going to get situations like that. It's the kind of risk that Pep likes to his players to endure, But at the end of the day, I thought Pep did the right thing, making his substitution early like that at half-time. Is not like him, but he identified the problem. He didn't want to have the potential of the red card. So it's great. I've noticed this as well. Pep this season has really utilised the right subs at the right time. In previous years, you could point a finger at him saying, he's left it too late. He's perhaps not chosen the right substitution. This season, it's been really good. Now, I don't know whether that's to do with the other coaches around him, but he's been really good at that, and I think he deserves credit for that.
Fully agree. Sure.
Louis, what you thinking?
He has made the right decision in the moment, because it was quite a risky situation, and Gahey would have to come over. Gahey would have to come over basically to cover Gordon, but then Alanga would be, because Alanga was on the other side sprinting in behind as well. So it was really a big, really tricky situation, and Diaz did the right thing. But the thing for me though was that first half. It might be me, but it kind of looking at it, Nunes and Diaz, that partnership was not even really good up to now. It felt really it felt disjointed. I can't explain it, but it felt not the same way it normally was between the two of them. Compared to Gahey and Ain't Noe, they understood each other perfectly, what to do in what situation, where to go forward, when to sit back. And Nunes was I don't know what to do. And Gahey and Kusanov, they kind of got that partnership, and they've had really good games, and they've sprayed the ball in behind for Marmoush and Semenyo and whatnot. And Diaz, I don't know what it is for now, but I'm hoping Gahey and Diaz get that partnership like what Diaz had with Stones like in 2021. But it just something just didn't feel like connected. It felt a little disjointed in a way. But it was just the one game. Hopefully because it was because of Newcastle and how they were playing against us in that game.
Darsh made a comment here. Kuzanov's time will come because, again, to answer your question, Bob Clips, yeah, we're talking about Ruben Diaz and the switch that came in the second half, taking him off, bringing Kuzanov on. We're talking about this match specifically, but you could actually expand this conversation to be just in general. Who would you prefer to see back there? Darsh says Kuzanov's time is going to come, and people are beginning to see his quality. However, Ruben Diaz's quality is undeniable too. That communication, structure, composure on and off the ball still so good. Yeah, I don't want this to be a bash Ruben Diaz because, again, that doesn't do anybody any good. I do think, however, that, and I think it was Magnus maybe who said, one of his strengths is, or I think it was Magnus, but talking about his strength being his ability to organize the back line and kind of that leadership ability, which is what I've always felt. That was, that's what the kind of the gist that you get from him is that it's more about the leadership. It's more about the, like you said, the organization more than it is what he's contributing necessarily physically on any given day. That being said, I do think that the addition of Gahey, who did all those same things for Crystal Palace, makes, I don't want to say makes Diaz expendable because I don't think that to be the case. But I think that you could take Diaz off the pitch and still, as long as you have Gahey on there, you're going to have somebody that's going to organize. You're going to have somebody that's going to be a leader. You're going to have somebody that's going to make sure that the back line is together, which is why I think seeing Gahey and Kuzanov was so much better than Kuzanov and Elaine. Now, of course, that's obvious because Max Elaine and Kuzanov aren't as experienced as, say, a Gahey. That's probably obvious, but I do put part of it down to Gahey's just his ability to come in, even though he's new, but to speak to the young kids and organize and tell them where to be, what to do, all of those things. And so, again, it makes Diaz's his not being on the pitch a little bit easier to take because before we didn't have anybody that could kind of organize that or was willing to organize that, and now we do. So, again, not to say that Ruben Diaz shouldn't be playing, but again, I just think that Mark Gahey offers a lot of what Ruben Diaz does, but also is maybe a little bit better from just a pure like a physical ability. He's going to be faster. Is he like pacey? I don't think so, but he's definitely faster than Ruben Diaz. Yeah. So again, that was this game. But as we kind of look to the future, are any of you in a place where you're thinking Kuzanov should be the number one over when I say number one, the number one right-sided center back over Diaz? Are you in a place where you want to switch those two and have Kuzanov be the primary right center back and Diaz kind of the bench option? Is anybody ready to make that change?
Not me.
Depends on the game. Depends on the game though as well. Like which team will like ping it in behind, and you need that part. You need Kushnov's place to like cover, basically. I don't think against Leeds or Forest that's going to be the case. But when we face Newcastle in the FA Cup in the 5th round, I'd put Kushnov in like alongside Gahey or Stones in that game to counteract like Gordon, Barnes, Alanga on the wing, basically.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go on, Keeley.
Okay, all right. I was just going to say, I agree with what Lewis said. I think it kind of comes down to who the opponent is, and also what I said earlier. I think it could come down to who else is in the team on deciding who plays. But for me personally, at this point in the season, I'd rather stick with Diaz. and then maybe look at bringing in Kusanov next season as maybe give him that big opportunity. But also in saying that, you've got Josko Gvardiol to come back. So we're in it's a very annoying situation, not at all, because we're so stacked for talent. We've got so much pleasure back there. We're in a great position, and Pep's got a really tough choice to make because he's got a lot of great defenders now, and that's been something we've been needing to upgrade in that department for the last 6 months to a year. So look where we are now.
Yeah, I totally agree with what the two lads have just said. It's a good position for us to be in. Kushanov's time will come, as Dash mentioned, and I have no doubts about that. He's going to have a bright future. Right now, unless, and I agree with what Louis said as well about it depends who your opponent is. If you know that you've got to nullify somebody with electric pace, you can try and match that if you need to. But for the most part, Diaz, I think, at least for the remainder of this season, will get in front of Kushanov.
Big up to my guy Scarf Boy here in the U.S. Out of the Milwaukee area. Said, I don't think Kusanov is quite ready for that, meaning to be the number one right-sided center back. But he's definitely got a shot at fullback. Does anybody agree with him? Would you consider him at fullback? Again, knowing he's going to play that right back and not play Nunez?
Right. So let's just think about this for a minute. So you would play Kushanov because he's got a lot of pace. What about Nunez's pace? I think he's
probably. I won't say he's just as fast, but I've not seen him get skint for pace at all.
Yeah. So where Nunez takes it for me over Kushanov would be his attacking threat, his crosses from wide positions. I've yet to see Kushanov do that. So unless Nunez is injured, I would say Kushanov. No, he's not going to get in at right back. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I personally, I think it would be harsh on Nunez to take him out of the lineup. He has done, in my opinion, nothing wrong. He has been exceptional for us all season. I'm sure he's made mistakes, but the fact that I can't even remember them or point to them, whereas a couple seasons ago, you would just run out of fingers running down all the mistakes that he made and quote unquote the bozo mistakes, whatever, right? To borrow LB's phrase. But that is not the player that we are seeing this season, and even towards the end of last season. And so, as much as I think Kusanov is a strong defender, and you're right, he does have pace, I just don't know that I would take Nunez out. Now, again, we know I think it was the treble season, we ran out of 4 center back lineup. So we could do the same thing. You could, when everybody's healthy, you could put Gvardiol at left back. You could put Gahey at left center back. You could put Diaz at right back, and then you could put Kusanov at right back. That is an option that we could do. And again, there might be games where you would do it, but I just don't know that I want to see that. Now that gets all your center backs on the pitch, but then you got the other issues with where's Aït-Nouri playing, where's Nunez playing, whatever. But again, for a change of pace and just kind of a mix up, I definitely think that is an option. I've seen so Bob and Darsh asking about Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson. We're going to get to transfers towards the end of the show. But yeah, I've definitely seen those reports. And I definitely do want to bring them up. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I have all of that. Yep, it is on my tablet sitting right here in front of me. So we will definitely get to it. But yeah, there's some other transfer rumors or transfer related stuff that we'll talk about as well. Anything else we want to call out about this match against Newcastle?
I do want to say, by the way, that in a specialist sort of way in certain games in the Champions League, I would say put Kusanov at right back, because if a team's got pacey winger and having Kustanov in that team like helps us to go up against say Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Barcola. If we face Newcastle again in the Champions League and that sort of thing, basically. In those sort of games, having Kustanov there at right back with Diaz and Guehi being the centre back pairing would be a really good idea to do. But it depends. It's who we face in the Champions League and so on.
Yeah. So what I will say, I think Núñez has been great at right back. And I think he has gotten us out of some situations. But he is often quite far up the pitch trying to create. That's not an issue for him. I think for Kuznetsov, he's not typically going to get as far forward. Now he has when he's played right back, he has gotten forward a little bit more than I actually expected, but he's not going to go as far forward. But the reality is that Kuznetov's pace for us is effectively the same as what Kyle Walker did for us. He was the if you watch American football, he's the safety that makes sure that nothing gets behind him. Nothing, and he's the one that's breaking up play. He's using his pace to make sure he gets back. So if they hit us on the counter, he's there. He keeps us out of trouble. And I don't know who's faster. Somebody asked a question on some stream, who's faster, Kyle Walker or Kuznetsov? I don't know. I think they're both fast enough to beat most attackers, and so that's all I care about. They're the ones that's going to get back first, and they're going to clean up the mess. And so I do think having Kuznetsov is great. But if you put him on that right side, I wonder. Well, I mean, Kyle Walker did it, right? He played on that right side. He was able to get back and break up play. So Kuznetsov could do that, but again, I think that would be a little harsh, in my personal opinion, a little bit harsh on Núñez. Cool Family said we're playing a 3-man midfield with not much creativity in it. Some of that creativity needs to come from the fullbacks. Yeah, we kind of touched on this earlier with Ike Nori on the left side, but yeah, to your point, Núñez on that right side, that's one thing we know he can do is put in a good cross. So you take Kuznetsov, or you take him out and bring Kuznetsov in, you lose that. You gain maybe a little bit more pace, maybe a little bit more defensiveness, but you lose quite a bit of that attacking verve that Núñez offers. And in my opinion, it would be a net negative to take Núñez off and bring Kuznetsov in as your right back. That's my opinion. Again, I think both players are really good. So this is not me saying that I don't like Kuznetsov or I don't whatever. That's not me saying that. It's just me saying that I would rather have Núñez at right back than to have Kuznetsov at right back. Now, Kuznetsov versus Diaz, that's a different conversation. And I am much more prepared to make that switch than I am the other one. But again, I think, like we all said, right, it's horses for courses. Not every game is going to be a Kuznetsov game. Not every game is going to be a Diaz game. And I hope that Pep is willing to, play the right player in the right situation, not get so tied into the players that he's been with forever. That loyalty that Pep always has. Sometimes I think that gets us into a little bit of trouble because we overplay some certain players. But definitely, I think there's an option there to play that. So, talking about the creativity from the back, Bob Clip says, by the way, Ike Nori should improve his final third, gets into very good positions. Yeah. Again, called that out talking about this match. You can't get into basically a 2-on-1 and not get a shot off. That's just not, it just can't. He's been great in, a lot of ways, but just that final ball, I think we need to see something better in that final ball from him. But again, recognizing first season, got to give the man a chance, got to give him a chance to continue to play. He's not had a lot of matches with the club or with the team because, again, he really didn't get any starts until after AFCON. So he's still playing himself into that comfortability with the team. But again, I agree with you completely. And I don't think he just didn't play until AFCON. some of those things you would expect. You just expect he's a professional footballer. He should be better in that moment. And so I definitely want to see that. Big up to Jen. You guys may not know Jen, but Jen is one of the regulars over at Shades of Blue. She comes on all of our stuff over there. So big up to you, Jen. Thank you for your support. Kuz is such a great tackler. Yeah, he's an aggressive guy. He comes in. So again, I think it's Pulpy over on LB talking about how it could be a little bit of a, it could it be a hindrance because he comes in so aggressive. Sometimes he's a little late, whatever. Could those things come back to bite us? But I just like to see his I just like to see his aggression and his willingness to be his love for defending, because I think he takes it personally.
Everyone loved his tackle. Everyone loved his tackle.
Yeah.
I can't remember when it was, but he literally just flies in, just gets the ball.
When he came in, he was on the sideline, basically on the touchline, and he just came in, but he got the ball. And again, yeah, you're right. If he mistimes it, it's probably a yellow card because he does come in hard. And maybe it's a little ways away from goal, maybe. But again, I like the aggressiveness. And again, it's a different dimension that we don't have in our team. So to see it is great. Appreciate you, Jen. Thank you so much.
I wanted to add on the Kusanov thing. I've got a pretty funny story with Kusanov. I've got a mate who I grew up with who's still my best mate to this day. We played a lot of footy growing up together. When I say Kusanov is he was the same profile of player as Kusanov, I can't actually get any more specific. Just pure aggressiveness, pace, scary for attackers. And the funniest part about it all, they're the exact same age, born on a leap year. And that's what I find really funny. That's why I just wanted to mention that. Because every single time I watch Kusanov go flying into a tackle, the first person I think of is my best mate. And it's just hilarious.
That's funny. In Jay's words, we'll love passion merchants. So again, talking about Ruben Diaz, calling him a passion merchant, which is what, so again, Jen is here. Jen, has been with, like I said, been with Shades of Blue forever. She has no doubt heard us talk about Ruben Diaz, and there are multiple people on Shades of Blue that for years have said that is what he brings. It's mostly about passion more than what he's bringing necessarily on the pitch. Passion merchant, whatever. That doesn't mean that he's not a good player. But he's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. He doesn't win the most headers, all these things, right? You could point out, and if you were trying to be critical, you could find flaws in his game, which you could find flaws in everybody's game. So that's not the intent there, but just understanding that, I think it's just a matter of time before Kusanov takes that position. But you got to give, but Diaz has earned over the years. He's been there. When, and I'm going to say when, there's some, we're going to talk about it in transfers, but when Bernardo leaves, there's a very strong chance that Ruben Diaz is going to be our new club captain. Mm-hmm. Probably going to happen. So, we'll go from there. But Martin calling me out, utter garbage that on Diaz. That doesn't, try to be garbage. But again, it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. We all have them.
Who's Beckenbauer, Martin? Who's Beckenbauer?
Yeah, no. But no. Appreciate you, Martin. Thanks for being here, man. All right. So we have. So that was looking backwards, right? Looking back at the weekend, we saw. We can see the Newcastle match. We know what that happened there. Looking forward to this coming weekend, we go up against Leeds. We go to Leeds. We're going away, going up against Leeds. For the last two matches, at least, Pep has kind of played the same lineup. We talked about, the idea, maybe there's not enough creativity, but we keep finding a way. Does anybody make a change to the lineup for Leeds?
Bernardo.
You're going to take Bernardo out of the midfield?
Not because of his performances, but because of
His yellow card situation.
Yeah, either get two yellow cards in the next 2 games against Leeds and Forest, so then he misses out the Newcastle game in the Carabao Cup the Carabao Cup final, or you drop him and not play him until Newcastle, so then he's fine because in the Premier League, if you get the suspension in that, they count towards the cup games. But if you get the cards in the cup games, they don't count towards the Premier League. That's my thinking for it. That's my only thinking, because I know he will get a yellow card at some point in that game, and then it's one game, and everyone will go, "Oh fuck, he misses the next 2 games if he gets a yellow card."
Okay, so did anybody think he should have gotten a second yellow in? We didn't talk about it. Did anybody think he should have got a second yellow in the Newcastle game?
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like what are you talking about? That's what we say when this is what you say outside of the house, right? When you're talking to rivals, then you like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. But when you come home and you come in the house, you get to have these real honest conversations. I think that him jumping into Dan Burn was a bad look. That's definitely a bad look. And you run the risk of getting that second yellow. And if he would have gotten it, you couldn't be mad at anybody but himself. Actually, I wanted Pep to take him off because I felt like he was the one most likely to get that second yellow, even probably more than Diaz, to be honest with you. Big up to Martin. He didn't like my Ruben Diaz take.
Haven't seen his Beckenbauer.
Yeah. So
good evening.
Good evening, Martin.
Big up to you, man.
What's going on, Martin?
How you doing? You doing all right? He doesn't get some technical difficulties, some technical issues. But so now you heard my honest take. Did anybody think he should have got a yellow or a second yellow and been out?
But what tackle? Shall we move on really quickly?
All right, fair enough.
Well,
no one wants to hear it.
I think we could go back to that comment that said we all love passion merchants. I think that was just passion, wasn't it?
There you go.
That's true.
How about now, Martin? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now in your agendas.
Hi, Martin.
We're not even on the transfers yet. Wait until
Listen, right. Let me give you some facts. Let me do my Rafa Benitez.
Factual information, Brett.
Where's all this stuff about Kushinov being better at everything than Diaz?
We never said that.
I didn't say he was better than everything.
We never said that.
Hang on. Whoa. Do you know there's not a stat statistically that Kushinov's beating Diaz on?
Well, Martin, because stats are based on how much you play.
No. You said
partially.
Aerial duels.
No.
Ruben Diaz has won 65% of his aerial duels.
What I said.
Kushinov has won 3%.
He's not won.
Well, we do it. Yes, he has.
There's no way 3% sounds ridiculous. But if I'm not looking at the stats, so if you say it, I'm not going to argue with you. You're probably right.
It's on FootMob.
What I was saying. But what I wasn't saying that Kuzanov is better than Diaz at all those things. What I was saying is that Ruben Diaz is not the best header of the ball. He's not the best this or that. He doesn't have the best pace, whatever. Again, there are things that you could point to as far as weaknesses or flaws or whatever. But again, every player has those things, right? So I'm not criticizing him for having flaws in his game. It's just a fact of the matter. He has a flaw like everybody else. So now it's a matter of can you find a way to, even with your flaws, be a good contributor to the team, whatever. And Diaz has, to his credit, has done that. But what he can't make up for is just the physical. He just doesn't have the pace. There's no way he's going to make up for that because he's not been blessed with it.
Let's go and get Usain Bolt as a centre back then if you want pace.
You don't need Usain Bolt because you have Kuzanov. What do you need Usain Bolt for?
What is this? When did we want centre backs to become 100-meter sprint runners all of a sudden? When did that become
when you had Elanga and when you had Elanga and Gordon and Mbappe and
I'm sorry,
Junior and all these players running down the wing.
Tariq, as a former coach, I never pick players on pace. Not once did I ever do that. I picked on football knowledge, aerial duels, physicality, tackling of the ball, reading of the game, intelligence. I did not pick anyone because they were a good sprinter.
No, I agree with that. So so again, this I'm kind of jesting, whatever, right? Just playing around.
No, I know you are. Listen, I'll tell you what's got me.
What I would say,
LB stream earlier got me hot.
But I didn't hear. But what you said about what you just said about not picking anyone based on pace, I would agree with that. If like to your point, Usain Bolt, right? Usain Bolt, and I know he's Jamaican, he's in England, whatever. He's played footy, whatever. He probably grew up playing it, but he's not a footballer, right? So again, the only thing he would offer was his pace. That is not the case for Kuzanov. Again, not to suggest that Kuzanov is the best player in the world, or even he should be our number one right center back. But he not just has pace; he has those other attributes. Again, he's an aggressive tackler. He can tackle the ball, all those things, right? So he can do more than just his pace. So that's all the thing I would call it there. So LB stream got you hot. What did they say over there?
Oh, because they're talking about dropping Diaz and he becomes a bench player. Because I'm like, what am I listening to?
I did ask the question, and I'm trying to think. Did Magnus or Keely or Louis? Nope, none of them were willing to drop him yet. I don't think so. I won't throw him under the bus.
I said depending on the game. I said depending on the game.
I'll tell you what it is. I think Kushinov is going to be one of the world's best centre backs.
Yeah,
one of the world's. I have no issue with Kushinov. I'm going to be honest, and people are going to say it's not. It is a little bit of the disrespect to Ruben Diaz that I'm a little bit irked with. I'm a little bit irked with the disrespect of our legends who have won us countless games. Manchester City don't give a guy a new 4-5 year deal, bump his wages because he's going to become a bench rotational player. That's not how the club work. The club don't work like that.
Can I add, Mark?
And that's the bit I'm a bit shocked at. It's not the cushion off love. It's the way Diaz is being spoke about. I don't understand it. It's like, I get it's Jay's opinion, but he's just a passion merchant. Well, I'm sorry, Paul Dickoff was just a passion merchant, but he got the biggest round of applause in the stadium. I'm a bit lost now. I feel like people want Chelsea FC. They want the kids model. I think they want the kids model. If Diaz isn't a legend, then I don't know what you classify as that then.
Yeah, so that's a tough statement because again, he's contributed to a lot of these title wins. Again,
that's why we're saying Ruben Diaz is our number 3. He hates United and he loves City.
Can I add to what you said, Martin? I think it seems like more of the bigging up Kusanov to bring down Diaz. That's what it seems like with this again. It's like it's another case of Kusanov's doing well, so let's drop Diaz. Diaz has been great as well, but you're just focusing on Kusanov because that's who you want. Not you specifically, Martin, but the people that are saying that.
It's new Thai FC. That's my bit. It's the new Thai FC. It's like I don't understand why we're choosing.
It's a luxury to have these options. We've got four top centre backs.
I want to celebrate the options rather than saying, well, it's A or B.
Yeah, but the reality is, and I think this is the thing, right? The reality is that only 2 center backs are playing, unless, of course, Pep goes back to the treble season and we play 4 center backs across the back. Typically, only 2 are going to play. So, it becomes a zero-sum game. It's either Diaz or it's Kuzanov. Most likely, it's not both. So, if you can only have one, you got to look at what each offers you. So when I said that, and again, Scarf Boy is here, Jen is here, they can tell you on Shades of Blue, when I would say, or when the rest of the guys would say, hey, Ruben Diaz is not our number one, he's not our best center back. That's because I felt at the time that on his day, John Stones offered so much more. Now, he wasn't always going to play. Ruben Diaz was going to play. He was going to be our, again, I think Ruben Diaz is going to be our captain at some point. But if you ask me, and again, Stones couldn't stay healthy, but if you ask me who was the better center back out of the two, I would have always argued for John Stones. And I probably still would today if Stones could ever be healthy. That's a different conversation that we're not going to get into. So again, it's not, I hope that people don't make it a, again, like you said, bash Diaz to big up Stones again, or to big up Kuzma, let's say. Again,
but that's
you can like one or the other, and you can acknowledge that they each have strengths.
I'm not, by the way, I'm not having to go LB here. It's
no, I understand.
Opinions. But when you do polls,
I'm gonna just, next time I'm on there, I'm gonna say Martin was
no. Listen, I'll say this to LB, he knows this. I get people do polls, but when you do a poll of A or B, you are making people choose.
So speaking of polls, before you move,
you wouldn't say which one's your favorite kid. A or B?
No, I wouldn't say that, but Deion Sanders, one of the coaches here in the U.S., he
all right. Well, maybe some will. Then
Deion Sanders did it. He's got a ranking for his kids, and it's whatever. But anyway, before we hold on,
which is your best girlfriend? A, B, or C?
Hold on 1 second. My wife. I can't answer that question. I've got a wife. She's got to be the answer. Anyway, so there is a poll in the chat. Because again, we're talking about UCL, and I have a poll out there. There's 25 of us in here. I need you to vote. I want to know who you would prefer to face in the next round. Is it the Real Madrid / Benfica winner, or is it Bodo Glimt? Martin, who would you rather face next round? We know Bodo Glimt is an option. It could be Real Madrid. It could be Benfica. Out of those,
yeah,
who would you rather
I'm
see?
doing Bodo Glimt because I feel like once we got our full team back, we slap them.
Yeah.
I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be very hard, but I think because we've already played them and you know what to expect a little bit, I think you're better prepared for it. And it's with it being over 2 legs and coming back to the Etihad, even though they've got a great win in the San Siro, by the way. When I look at the Inter Milan, I don't think Inter Milan were taking that very serious, and I don't know why. I found it very weird the way Inter went into that whole leg. You look at the first leg, they rested about 6 or 7 of the players, which I found a bit weird. So yeah, for me, I mean, listen, on my day, I'm going to prefer Bodo Glimt, because you're going to get Real Madrid later on at some point anyway.
Yeah. Fair enough. So looking at it right now, there's 20 votes in the poll. 55% say they want Bodo Glimt. 45% say they want Real Madrid / Benfica winner. So it's tilted in favor of Bodo Glimt, but not completely. There are people out there that would rather face Real Madrid. And again, I'm sure that's because we just watched Bodo Glimt be giant killers again. So not just beating us, not just beating Atletico Madrid, but then going on and beating Inter over both legs, or in both matches to win. So it is interesting. Let's see. All right. So Martin, did you have anything else you wanted to say on the whole Ruben Diaz Kuzanov thing?
No, I just feel the thing is, you know what I don't like about it is we have all these discussions. We do it over Foden, Cherky. We did it over Grealish, Doku. And then fans go on shows and they have a big old meltdown. And then they all end up arguing. And you see like Jay's having a big argument with everyone on X about it. And none of us are actually choosing it. So what we all falling out for? We're falling out over something we don't actually have a choice in.
So this is your comment here. It's not our choice. It's Pep's.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
It's not our. We're causing factions for no reason. Pep chooses the team, and I've said this all along. I think fans this season more than ever are trying to micromanage the football club, and they have no right to micromanage it.
Is it the thing though, that the fact that we're talking about Kuzmov a year after joining, though, the fact that we're talking about him in the same breath as like Ruben Diaz shows how good a player he's become since he joined. From like since joining.
It's not just that, Louis. Ruben Diaz has done it for 7-8 years. Kushnov's done it for 8 months.
I'm not belittling Diaz, by the way. I'm not belittling Diaz. It's just the fact that like we're talking about Kuznov in that way. It's quite remarkable that he's got to this position. Diaz definitely. He's given the badge for us so many times, like throughout since 2020. So I can't discredit him for anything. It's just remarkable that we're like that. Is able.
But the other side of the coin.
I get you as well. Yeah.
But it's like Erling Haaland. Hang on a minute. Erling Haaland 3 years ago when we signed, we were waxing lyrical. It was the greatest thing ever. 3 years in, some people have suggested we should drop him or even sell him.
Wow. No one. I didn't see anybody say sell him.
This is my issue at the moment of people have short-term memories. And I think people forget. I'm sorry, maybe it's just me. I'm a person I don't want someone who's given me a good 10 minutes. I want someone who's given me a good 3-4 years, not 10 minutes.
I'm not going there.
I'm sorry. I can't get excited over 10. How do I know Kushnoff next season doesn't fall off a cliff and become crap? But you've slagged off Diaz on the way out the door. You can't repair that, Tariq. You can't just slag players off and then bring them back.
Yeah, I do think
you can't do that.
I've said this on multiple occasions. I think as a fan base, we have to be careful. We don't, kill our players, our legends. Again, it's in my opinion, it is a little embarrassing the way that Ederson had to leave, the way that Kyle Walker had to leave, the way that even Akanji had to leave. Again, the kind of the back and forth and the criticism and all the things that as a fan base that we do to our players is a little unfortunate. But again, people say what they want to say and then so on and go for it. So, but definitely don't like that as a fan base.
You can big cushion off up without slagging Diaz is my whole point.
Yeah,
you don't need to big cushion off up by ripping Diaz down. We don't need to big Cherky up to rip Foden down. It's like I had someone the other day said to me, well, Foden's been on the bench and chair. So live on air, I went and got all the minutes up, of the games. Cherky and Foden are actually being alternated around. Cherky's not finished a lot of games at 90 minutes. And Cherky's been on the bench recently, as has Foden. Yeah.
This new line
because he's gone with the more physical. He's gone with the more physical midfield.
Yep.
And this is what people. I keep saying it. People have stopped doing deep thinking. They're doing on what they suit because the play. I'm sorry, but the name on the back has become more important than the badge on the front. And I'll stick to that till the day I die. The name on the back's more important to some people. And some people, I said something 9 months ago, Tariq. You'll never get another statue in that football club the way we're treating our legends. You're never getting another statue up. Because last season it was who went like Akanji and all that. Yeah. This season it's Foden and Diaz. Who's it next season?
So I think just because you mentioned this statue, I think that if Haaland finishes his contract, which puts him at 10 years, I think he gets a statue. Because if he does 10 years here, I think he takes down Shearer's record. I think he does. I think we win another at least another league or maybe even another Champions League. So I think he will walk out of here with a statue. But again, there's a lot of time between now and then. Anything could happen. But you did bring up Turkey, and I want to ask this question. So again, going back to the Leeds match that's coming up on Saturday, I asked the question, and we kind of got into it a little bit. Does anybody want to see a change in the lineup? We've been playing with the same setup with Marmoush on the left, Semenyo kind of on the right. They're both kind of tucked in, and Marmoush is kind of really up top with Holland. It's really this weird setup. But do we want to see any changes? Do you keep it what it is? For me, I would like to see Marmoush come off and bring on Cherki. I think that would be a good change. But again, I don't know that Pep's actually going to make that change. What would you like to see, Magnus? Anything that you want to change?
I think you're right pointing out Marmoush. He's not really doing it for me at the moment.
What about? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Cherki, possibly, but again, I don't know that much about Leeds. You see, I don't know how they play. So what I tend to try and do when I think about games like this, I just kind of like it's over to Pep. There's nothing much I can do about it. But what I do once the game kicks off and I get to see the first 15, 20 minutes or so, then I start seeing how things are developing. Then I start saying, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing that change. I wouldn't mind seeing that change. But you know what I mean? I know it's a bit of a kind of nothing answer, but I don't tend to look at it like I need to see that player playing. Well, I don't really know enough about Leeds, to be honest with you, to determine whether or not I want Cherki playing or I want Semenyo playing or whatever. So if I just go and take it a step back and then look at how we've played, say, like in the last game, and I could say, well, Marmoush didn't really, set me on fire. Yeah, so...
assist.
Yeah, so I'd say to myself, well, could we try and put Semenyo where Marmoush is to free up a spot for someone like a Foden or a Cherki? But what would that then leave out then in that sort of deep lying position there, the kind of 10 type of role where Semenyo's been playing, and we're not really getting the best out of Semenyo, I don't think, by playing him there. But Pep must see something there to wanting to play there. Now, it could be because he offers a bit more physicality over a Cherki and a Foden in that 10 role. But I kind of think, well, why would you want a 10 to be that physical? I'm not so sure, but again, it's all about who the 3 is going to be in midfield, and it's all kind of interconnected. So, again, I can't really make a determination because I don't really know much about Leeds, to be honest with you. I know that's a long
Yeah, so the only thing that I saw when I was looking at Leeds is that they typically have been playing a 5-4-1. So 5 at the back, 4 in midfield, and then the 1 striker up top. So it feels like this is a game that's going to be very compact. It's going to be we're going to be working hard to break them down if we don't hit them on the counter. So it's like, okay, that's when the question, okay, where does the creativity come from? That's why I'm saying, well, maybe we need to bring in a Cherki there. But one of the things that I will say that Marmoush probably does better than anyone else across that front line.
I just got to drop me back in 10:15 if you still live.
Yep, I'll still be here. Appreciate you, Martin.
Catch you, Martin.
But one of the things that I think that Marmoush does better than most is the way that he presses. And so, you know, if there's going to be a mistake made by a keeper, it's going to be because Marmoush is closing them down. So, yeah, I do like what he offers. I want to see more going forward from him consistently. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky. It's not gonna to Mario's point, it's gonna be tricky. So yeah, definitely hope to see. I just hope we can break them down. So we need to keep winning in order to keep applying pressure to Arsenal.
They play Chelsea.
Premier League table.
They play Chelsea this weekend as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame these last few weeks that we've not had Jeremy Doku, because I think he could have made a difference. Although we've done well results-wise, I think that as soon as he is match fit, I think he'll come in there and he'll make a difference. And I think that's probably when you will see Marmouche sat on the bench.
Yeah, I think Doku, I've said he offers something that nobody else in our team offers at the moment. He carries the ball with such ease. He takes defenders on. And when he's been allowed to come inside the pitch a little bit more, he has the option to go left. He has the option to go right. And I just think it has made him, he is a unplayable threat when he's got that much freedom. And so, I'm eager for him to return because I think he offers us a lot, and we'll see really good stuff out of him if and when he can get back. So hopefully soon. But we gotta keep the pressure on Arsenal. We won our game on the weekend. It put us up to just 2 points behind. They came out, they matched us. They stomped out Tottenham in the North London derby. Tottenham basically put up no resistance. But again, I don't know that anybody expected them to do anything, because for me, it was like, I don't like depending on other teams to do the work that we need to do. And so, for me, I knew that Tottenham wasn't going to get the job done. So that, of course, that put them back up to 5. To Jen's point, we still have a game in hand. Yes. So they're up 5. They're up 5 as far as points is concerned, but we still do have that game in hand. So we got to keep winning to keep applying that pressure. Right now, of course, Arsenal are at the top of the table with 61 points. We're 5 behind with 56. And then you have Villa at 51. And then in 4th is Man U at 48. And then you have Chelsea and Liverpool in 5th and 6th, respectively, both on 45 points. But Chelsea up in goal difference. So that's the 6. Champions League is probably only going to be 5 spots. So when it comes to the end of the season, who misses out on Champions League? Arsenal, City, Villa, Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool. Who misses out?
Who do we want to miss out? Or
who do you think actually misses out? Because if you ask me who I want to miss out, that's one question. But that's definitely going to be Man U. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Man U. But and again, they're only 3 points ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool, right? So there is a very strong chance that they miss out. But who do you want to miss out, or who do you think will miss out?
Well, don't forget that United are not in any cup competitions. So they're going to have plenty of rest in between games.
I agree with Timothy.
That will help them.
I think it'll be Chelsea that miss out. I want Liverpool or United to miss out, though. Preferably Liverpool. But either would do for me.
So a lot of people saying Chelsea. Okay.
Yeah, I think they just seem like the weakest squad out of all those other ones that you mentioned, personally, in my opinion.
I know United will get there. I've got a feeling United could even finish 3rd. It's just the way that they're going. Yeah, they could do. Depends how far Villa go in Europe, So, yeah. I don't know. Possibly Chelsea then. Chelsea might miss out.
I'm unsure if it was real, but I've seen something on Twitter that apparently Wolverhampton Wanderers have played more games than United this season by the end of it, because they went further in cup competitions.
Wow.
So that's kind of funny.
Possible relegated team.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy that they played that few games, but it probably couldn't set up any better for them because it allows them to focus on what you just said, right? They just have that one match a week. They can focus on that. You just got to be good one time a week, and as long as they've been doing that, they gotten themselves advanced up the table. Like I said, they're in 4th place, and so we hope that they collapse, but right now they look pretty good, actually. So any chance that Carrick gets that job full time?
Well, if I had a choice in that, if I was on the United board, I would give him the job. But
I agree.
Hold on. You said you would give him the job if you were a member of the United board, not as a City fan, but if you were working for United, you would give him the job. Okay,
absolutely.
I just want to make sure you're not trying to, pull the reverse reverse on him and be like, I'm a City fan, so go ahead and keep him so we can whoop you next year.
No,
I wasn't sure.
No, but as a City fan answer, he should have kept the previous manager.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go. Okay, all right, fair. So Keely, you said you would offer him the job too.
Well, I've got a mate he's a big Man United fan. I speak to him a lot. He's one of the only kind of mates that I've got that I speak to about City, while I also openly speaking about other clubs too. And he's a very open-eyed kind of fan, so it's easy to speak to him about club to club, not just your view kind of thing. And we both agree that, like I said to him, I don't see why. You look at how much United have struggled to get a manager to get the team together and want to fight for the club and all that stuff again. Why would you go and take that away from them? They're looking the best they have in probably the last couple of years, if I'm being honest, in terms of players wanting to fight for the club and stuff. And as a Blue, I hate saying that, but if you're in United's position, I don't see why you would want to disrupt what they've currently got just to go and risk getting another manager who probably would most likely get sacked pretty quickly.
I know. See, the thing is, I mean, to be honest, Michael Carrick's not done anything extraordinary. He hasn't. All he's done is he's played the team to their strengths. He's not trying to do a formation that is a little bit foreign to them. He's set them up as which would suit what he's got to choose from the best. He's gone back to a traditional way of playing with two defensive midfielders sat in front of a back four, and you really need that kind of protection if you've got Harry Maguire as a centre back. Okay, so they put Fernandes as the CAM, so he suits the 10 role. That's where he is. They were having problems trying to find a place to put him in the other formation with the previous manager. So all he's done is set them up to get the best out of them. Now, the interesting part will be that if they do decide to go with him, are they going to give him any kind of funds that are available to improve this team? It's going to be interesting to see, because we know who their owners are, and they're very, very tight with their budget. So it's going to be interesting.
I'll add to what you said, Magnus. You said exactly what I wanted to say next. And this is what my mate's been saying to me for a very long time. It was actually, this is all Amorim needed to do, was play to his players' strengths and not play them in a way that they're uncomfortable playing. His stubbornness cost him his job, I think. I think the fact that he didn't even give another system, let alone another formation, a chance, and he stuck with what he thought was right, cost him his job. Because look at the improvement since they've gone back to playing, like you said, the traditional way that they're used to playing that benefits their players. It's night and day for them. So that's literally what my mate's been saying to me that's needed to happen for a very long time. He specifically said the 4-2-3-1. So he was right on that. I'll give him his flowers. And sorry, I just wanted to add, he also said that apparently, because he said about if they were going to sign anyone, apparently they're looking for a Casemiro replacement because he's leaving at the end of the season. So they need a holding midfielder. That's what I've heard from a United fan.
Is that why the conversations about Elliot Anderson for them? Are they thinking he's going to come in and be a 6 for them as opposed to a 8?
Well, I know a lot of United fans think Anderson's going to come into them. I think I could have said that a different way. Sorry. My mate that I speak to, he seems like he understands that Anderson will most likely head to City, and he's kind of never really thought of Anderson as an option. He's mentioned players like Ruben Neves from Saudi Arabia, because he could be a cheap option and stuff like that, which I don't know. It doesn't interest me, but as anyone that's bad, that'll do. Yeah.
Let's pivot to talking some transfer news. But before we do that, again, if you're in the U.S., you know that February is Black History Month here in the U.S. And so every week I've been asking a question. I've been asking, because again, most of us are all City fans. I've been asking us to identify your favorite Black City player in these different positions, right? So we've done defenders, we've done center midfielders, we've done wingers. So we only have 1 week left. This is the last week. So we got to do strikers and goalkeepers in one. So strikers and goalkeepers. So you got Sean Goder is probably an obvious choice for many. But there's also Khadijah Bunny Shaw on the women's side, because again, City, one club, one passion, whatever. So you got Bunny Shaw there. You got Wilfred Boney, formerly of Swansea, that has come and played for us up top. You got Alex Williams in goal. You got Zach Steffen, the U.S., the American U.S. born Zach Steffen, who lost us a cup. You got Kiara Keating, who deserves love as a young goalkeeper on the women's side. And I guess if you consider Ederson as maybe a Black player, then he might be a runaway. But again, Alex Williams was there. So if you're in the chat, go ahead and put your thoughts there. If there's somebody that I didn't name that you can think of, put them in there as well, and we'll go from there. So all right,
David
so
James.
put that in the chat. Go ahead. What'd you say?
David James.
So okay, I'm not familiar. So tell me what position. Is he a striker?
Goalkeeper.
Oh,
England international. Yeah.
Hmm.
He also plays for Liverpool.
If there was something to describe him though, like from modern days, he was the ultimate bozo.
The funny thing is, you know what they used to call him, Tarek? Not David James, Calamity James.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, look him up, David James. I'm sure people in chat will.
So,
remember
what
him.
years did he play?
Stuart Pearce was like the utter madman that he was. He decided to play him strike on the final day of the season.
90s and 2000s.
Yeah,
That's
so he
kinda
was
like his-
born in 1970. So it makes him 55 today. Goalkeeper, youth career with Watford, did come to Man City from 2004 to 2006. 93 appearances for us. Yeah, so okay. Calamity James. Wow. That's tough. That might be worse than my guy Zach Steffen. I don't know.
Well,
He played more than Zach though, so kudos to that. Yeah, definitely. I think it sounds like it's probably going to be Alex Williams if you're looking at the men's side, and again, probably a runaway either way, because Kiara Keating, for all the good that she's done, she's young and she's not really been the starting keeper this season like she was last season. So, but England U23 at the upcoming got called up to U23s for her. So big ups to her. All right. So continue to put that in the chat as we go through, but let's go ahead and turn our attention to transfers. And then I'm going to end it with a conversation about Micah Richards. But so I saw a post that said Barca are interested in Savinho. And we know that they have an option. They have an option.
What's the source?
I gotta see if I have that tweet.
Don't say Fabrizio plays.
Is the source Spartacus?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I didn't nick this off of him. But so what I read was that basically they have an option on Rashford, right? We know that. Right. But they feel like Savinho would be a better tactical fit to what Hansi Flick wants to do than, say, Marcus Rashford would be. Here we go right here. Since you made me go and pull up the receipts, let's go ahead and show it on the screen since you didn't believe me.
Spartacus run
It's
into his
definitely a
laptop.
Brazilian
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah, it must
So
be.
the source, as you no, you don't see it because I didn't actually add it to the stage. The source is El Nacional. Hansi Flick would be prepared to miss out on signing Marcus Rashford from Manchester United permanently this summer if Barcelona can secure a deal for Savinho instead. The Barca boss believes the Manchester City winger would be a better tactical fit for his system.
Right, okay.
First of all,
has Barcelona got the money? Have Barcelona got the money? You know, and if so, how much are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't think
Same
they
as
have the
last
money.
time,
Let's
though.
just be honest.
Same as last time.
Yeah.
Same as the Spurs rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get Fabrizio involved again. He'll be chucking extra figures on it.
Yeah. So I don't believe that this has any real I don't think this is real at all, because I don't think that they can afford him. I think what this is a play to get Man U to be willing to take less money to make sure that they can get rid of Marcus Rashford. That's what I think this is. And quite honestly, if they're going to play this 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing, maybe they just bring him back. Now, again, they went in and brought Cunha and Embuemo and all these other players, so maybe there's not a spot for him. But I just think that this is some
The only person I trust
negotiation tactics.
The only person I trust with Barca info is Paul Ballas.
So all right, so you don't trust. Oh wait, I don't know if I have.
Yeah, El
so
Nacional,
there-
El Nacional are basically the same as I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like for Hannes or something. They're really clickbait for news in Spain, basically. And El Nacional, I think they are as well. I might be wrong there.
Yeah, I again, I don't know them, so I just tell you what I see. And then there is this post about Bernardo Silva. Of course, I believe he's going to leave, but they say that Benfica, Juventus, and potentially here in the U.S. and MLS, Chicago Fire are among those keen on signing Bernardo Silva on a free transfer this summer. So again, he'll have options. I really do think he just ends up at Benfica because, again, that's where he's always said he wants to go. So I just see that happening before it's all said and done. He'll just end up at Benfica.
I would love him to go to Chicago, like the same with Kevin De Bruyne when the leaks came out about him to Chicago Fire, because I'd love to see Bernardo Silva link up with CM Punk. Because he's from Chicago.
So I don't live very far.
Yeah,
I don't live very far from Chicago.
I know CM Punk as well, Louis. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm like 2.5, probably 3 hours from Chicago. So if I said before, if KDB ends up at Chicago Fire, I will be there a lot of games. If Bernardo ends up there, I will go to some games. But I don't anticipate that to actually happen. I just really don't. So I don't have my tweet for this, but I did see that, and I don't remember who it was that was talking, but they were talking about Rodri and potentially going on a free to Barcelona. I assume once his contract runs down.
Was it
Daps? Daps. No, it wasn't Daps. I saw it on social media. But it's probably the same place that Daps saw it, or maybe just Daps just knew or whatever. Because I did see that Daps had done a show, I think, about it, but I didn't watch it. So yeah, do we think there's legs in this? Especially if you think about the fact that he hasn't signed an extension yet. Now, maybe that's on the club, maybe that's on him. We don't really know. But do we think that or let me ask it this way. What percentage would you put on this being legit or this actually happening Rodri to Barcelona on a free? Do you think it's more or less than 50%?
I find it hard to imagine we'd let him go on a free when he's still got a year left.
So you would say we would try to sell him next at the end in the summer, basically.
If not an extension, I think we'd sell at the end of this season. Yes, but I think the extension is still possible. If it'll happen, we don't know yet. But yeah, I personally I can't imagine City would be willing to lose Stones and Rodri or Bernardo on a free. I think that would be a big loss. And I think we can still get money out of Rodri as well. That's just my opinion, though. What's everyone else think?
Yeah, I was saying. So Magnus, I think you must have had to. Oh, did we lose him again? All right, Louis, what do you think?
50 with Rodri. I'm not. If something was to happen, but it would have happened by now. But the fact that there's been no news from any outlets about signing Rodri. That's the weird thing for me, is like there's been nothing going on. Saudi, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico. I'm sure every team in England, like PSG, Italy, like the fact there's been no news about it is the weird thing.
Which,
like
again, I don't want to read into it, but it kind of gives credence to the idea that maybe he's not going to sign a new contract. So then the club has to decide, can we sell him, or do we just let him play it out? Because he's been a legend. He's offered so much. So do we just let him play it out? One sec. Magnus, are you there?
I can. Yes, I think I'm just about here.
There you go. Yep, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Where was you up to, guys? Were you talking about Rodri?
So we're talking about Rodri and potentially going on a free to Barcelona. Not this season, but at the end of next season when he runs. If he doesn't sign a new contract, does the club let him run out his contract and then go on a free, or do they try to just sell him right away?
I can't imagine Viana not letting him go for free. The kind of personality that he is, I think he'll want to get some kind of money to put towards his replacement. I can't imagine that happening, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much we're talking about, but it's going to be significant. It's probably going to be
really
60 plus maybe.
Yeah, you got to think it would be 1 year left on his contract, coming off of a knee injury.
Yeah.
But even with that said, it's got to be, like you said, 60 to 70.
Yeah.
No, can't be any less than that. I mean, I want more than that, but I'm being honest with the 1 year and the knee injury may not be ideal. But I my hope, and I'm sure everybody's hope, is that we can find a way to get him to sign an extension. That's what everybody's hoping, I'm sure. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody wants that, I think. But
anybody doing this, swapping Rodri for Frankie de Jong?
No,
I think that ship sailed long ago.
Yeah,
Frankie de Jong.
I don't think so. You can keep him.
No, I think it's going to be an interesting one this transfer window in the summer. It's a pity that Martin's not here right now, and if he's listening, get your backside back in here, matey, because I think he might be able to add some meat to the bone of this. I think the midfield is going to be so key next season, and it depends who leaves. We could be losing quite a bit of experience, If Bernie goes, I hope not. If Rodri goes, I hope not. But then you've also got Kovacic. You've also got Rico Lewis, who, he wants more minutes. He's not getting them. He's getting gone. More frustrated. So if he goes, there's 4 midfielders gone. Okay. Yeah. So, and you just don't know. So, but if Rodri does go, and then Nico G doesn't get what he might think as being that number 6 spot, and you bring someone else in, what do you think Nico G is going to do? He may want to go. And he's from the Barcelona Academy. So he might want to look back to going to Spain. So it's going to be very interesting what's going on.
Big up, Alex. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm doing much better. Again, for those that don't know, I had some issues with fluid around my heart. Had to go have a procedure done to drain that, and went back in today for a follow up. They put me on this machine, check everything. I go back in on Thursday. They can tell me how much of the fluid has returned or not or whatever. So I'll know really where I am on Thursday. But I appreciate the support, brother. Thanks for being here. All right. So the thing that was brought up, I think, by Bob Clips and someone else earlier is the question of Darsh. Darsh asked about Morgan Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson. So there was insinuations that we like both players. Of course, both of them English.
No.
Morgan Gibbs White, Elliot Anderson, particularly if Newcastle might end up going down. Not Newcastle, sorry. Nottingham Forest end up going down. What do folks think about this? I know we were linked with Morgan Gibbs White last season or last summer. We've been linked with Elliot Anderson all this, basically, at least since January, if not before. Before, because we thought we might even actually go for him in January. So do you want one, both?
Anderson.
One or the other, or do you want both?
Just one.
Just Anderson.
I agree with Louis. Just Anderson. To me, Morgan Gibbs White is more of a kind of attacking midfielder, as I call him. We've got plenty of those type of players, I think. We don't need that kind of profile.
If we want to put him in the mold that I'm kind of thinking of, we already have that in Nico O'Reilly, and O'Reilly's just that good. So like Gibbs White can do whatever. I'm not caring what he does, because he's not going to join here. I don't think he will.
Spartacus.
Now,
how are you?
Evening, lads. Not bad.
Hello.
I just posted something on Twitter. Well, I didn't post it, but I showed something from Twitter that said that Barcelona might be interested in Savinho. Thoughts on that?
So I did hear that this is true, and the Mammoth thing as well.
Ooh.
What?
What's the Marmouche thing? Tell me the Marmouche thing.
Marmouche being the I think he's talking about Marmouche being the second option to Julian Alvarez if he doesn't join Barcelona this summer.
I did say that earlier on Twitter.
Oh, so Barca want Savinho, they want Marmouche. They want Rodri. They want Rodri. Basically, so we were accused of trying to be like Barcelona when we got all the boys from the backroom staff and all the things that we were trying to do, and now it's gone the other way where they're trying to be City and they're trying to take all of our players and bring them over there because, of course, City. That's wild. Yep. Ash posted this. Apparently, Barca are interested in Marmouche. Big up Ash for posting that earlier.
Yeah, that's the backup. That's the backup to Julian Alvarez, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, who they think they're going to be able to afford 200 million Atletico want euros. So good luck.
Yeah, we know
Rodri,
they have no money.
Julian,
I don't even know why they go on there pretending like they have money. Everybody knows they have no money. So I don't know like what the what would have to happen for them to kind of get like what levers they would have to pull in order for them to actually.
Spotify would take more money from the artist and then give it back to Barcelona. Basically, that's what they'd probably do, wouldn't they?
God,
I'm an Apple Music fan. I'm not Spotify, so.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Any other transfer rumors that I'm missing? that folks have seen or heard?
I haven't seen or heard, but one I've been like definitely really unsure and constantly thinking is who would be a goalkeeper we'd go for, assuming Trafford leaves at the end of the season, that's willing to be a backup. I've had this stuck in my
And
mind for
ideally
so
is
long.
English.
Yeah, and that
Yes.
too. Like there is so many things that could come into account for that signing, particularly homegrown. It's a really tricky situation.
It is. It's a good question.
I don't know who you bring in.
Neither. So clearly you guys are as confused as me on this topic.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
you could go, well, Aaron Ramsdale is a backup, but do we want Aaron Ramsdale? If you don't think that Donnarumma is good with his feet, why would we go bring in this guy? And he's not going to be good with his hands either. So what are we doing? Why would we do that?
Sheffield United, Arsenal, Southampton, Newcastle, Man City. How can you explain that to something? How can you explain that?
To be fair,
Ramsdale.
to be fair, Ramsdale is better with his feet than Donnarumma.
No.
So
Shit, yeah, it is.
That's why everybody started laughing when I said it. They knew you were going to come in, but you know what? Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know that I think so.
Statistically, Donnarumma is he is on the top 2 worst goalkeepers with his feet on the Premier League. So there you go.
Well, okay, fair enough. I won't argue the point.
He makes a simple pass up to his centre back, and then he gives it long. Blame Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Well,
Lewis, you're gonna have to get that photo
Luis,
framed on your wall.
Luis, you pass the ball to the centre back, and he kicks it long when you should have passed the ball to the 6 for the 6 to pass the ball to the centre back, for the centre back to then have the space to run into the space and then be able to progress the play. But instead you chose to pass the ball to the centre back, inviting the pressure onto the player and forcing him to kick it low. Then yes, it is very much on you for him kicking long because you refuse to pass the ball to the right player to then get to the second right player then to progress the ball. So yes, it is on the goalkeeper, yes.
All right. We will not start this argument tonight because we're already 2 hours plus into this, and we'll save that for a different day. Somebody asked, do you think the board will cash in on Ruben once Pep leaves, maybe 2028? Well, 2028 is what, 2 years away? Yeah, I think in 2 years, I think Kuzanov will be established as our number 1 right-sided center back, unless there's somebody else that comes in. The guy, I don't know, but I think that at that point there will be a switch, and while I think Ruben will be allowed to stay if he wants to, but I don't think he'll be a starter at that point. Again, I could be wrong, but I think at that point his days as a starter for City will be over. Now, whether the club try to cash in on him, I don't know, because again, the club have shown a tendency to, the club prior to Viana have shown a tendency to allow players to stay as long as they want to stay, and sometimes often go out on a free. Viana seems like he's trying to change that, which is why the whole conversation about Rodri is even a conversation, because I think on a normal, with the old regime, if Cheeky was here, Rodri would just play it out because Pep would want to keep him as long as he could. And then we'd let him go on a free. But I don't know that world is the world that we live in anymore today, not with Viana. So that's my answer to that question. So I want to know. Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay. Thank you. I was just going to say, for me personally, Ruben Diaz is the next captain of this football club.
Yes.
And I've always looked at Ruben Diaz as a player that even when he's past his best years, I can see him staying at City and helping out as a leader and being that player that's willing to rotate. I see Diaz as a long-term player. I think he's one of those players that will give us his best years, as he already has, and I think he'll continue to give us more years, because I don't think he's a player that will chuck a fuss if he's not playing every game, for example. I think he wouldn't be like that. I hope that's the case, and I hope he doesn't chuck a tantrum or whatever. But yeah, like I'm saying, I just think he comes across as a player that would be willing to do that role in the future if that's what it ever come to. But for now, I think he's one of the best defenders we have at the club. He should be starting, and he's the next captain for me personally.
While we're still on the last little bit of talk of transfers and stuff like that, does anyone think we might need a kind of backup right back?
Yes.
So I would say yes if we're going. So the issue when Nunes goes out is we don't have a like for like. Anybody that we play at right back at that point is completely different profile. It just changes the way we play. And so I think we probably need someone that's more akin to what Nunes is, whether that person comes in as the starter or the backup. But we need a second option over there, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Another position where homegrown could help.
Yes, but I don't know that we have anyone in the wings that play that position. Anyone up and coming right backs that I'm aware of. Now, again, if Danny were here, Danny would know that kind of stuff because Danny's big on the academy.
Yeah, he's good on that, isn't he?
Yeah, but I just don't know anyone that is going to come in and fill that gap. I want to know from you guys and from the chat, the club have what we call club ambassadors that represent the club in various ways or options or opportunities that they get to go out and represent the club. Who is your favorite that represents the club? If you want to call him an ambassador or whatever. Again, if you think about a Joe Hart, he's one of those people that is doing announcing, but there's never a question about his love for the club, his commitment to, even though he got basically pushed aside by Pep Guardiola when he came in, he still always talks very highly about the club. Snoopy had another name that I was going to bring up, but Nedum.
Oh, I was going to say Nedum as well.
Nedum is great.
Same.
I think same thing. He wasn't here for those years where we were like really on the top of the league or whatever. Went to QPR. He
was there.
He was there when we won it on the opposite team. So, but again, he's still, even though he doesn't, I don't think he's like wears his City fandom on his sleeve. He's not just like out here City, but that he loves City. That he won't let you disrespect the club. He talks highly about him. He's on ESPN for me a lot. So a lot of the people on ESPN seem to be City haters. Now, maybe again, that's my rose-colored glasses that I bought not rose-colored, but blue-colored glasses that I bought that make me see things certain ways. But I know Nedum is always going to back us up. And so Bob Clip said Nedum as well.
I think Nedum is just fair. The guy's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
If it is to defend, he will defend. If there is to criticize, he will criticize. Yeah. And in a fair way. And often
he has to be the counter to all of the negativity coming from everybody else on the panel. So then he has to kind of play up the positivity or be the counter to what they're doing. And so it is, you could say there's people like that are out there that not as many as some of the other big clubs that have people in the media, have former players out there. And so we hear a lot from them. We don't really hear as much, or I don't, at least, especially being here in the US, don't hear as much about City or City, quote unquote ambassadors. However, the one that we do hear a lot about, that we haven't named yet, is Micah Richards. And of course you see him tonight on, we saw him tonight here in the US on Champions League because he's on CBS and does the things with Paramount Plus and all that kind of stuff. So we see him every
England. It'll be with England next year as well because they got the rights to the Champions League now.
Okay.
Oh, great.
So we see him all the time, and there's been a lot made about him actually being a Arsenal fan, and he says he grew up as an Arsenal fan, so on and so forth. So I wanted to play this, and hopefully you all be able to hear this just fine.
I say Saul Goodman.
Okay, so
Anyone know Saul?
I don't know him.
It's
He's
from
the
the
lawyer,
TV show
lawyer.
Breaking
It's,
Bad. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's from a series called Breaking Bad.
Oh,
and
okay,
Better
yeah,
Call
I thought you were
Saul.
talking about a
really good series.
I thought you were talking about one of the city ambassadors. I was like, wait, I don't know that name. All right, so let's listen to this. It's a minute long, minute 8 seconds. Let's just let this play, and then we'll talk about it when we get done. One of you guys on the panel, just throw me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio when we get going. All right, here we go.
I actually think I really need to address this. I was on CBS the other day, and Arsenal, we had on the phone, we had a score or whatnot. Yeah. I had Gabriel captain. You know what fantasy football's like. And when they conceded, you're devastated. They've clipped that up. Carragher's going, oh, why you sad for? They didn't show the whole context of the video.
Okay.
And I'm getting absolute pelters from Man City. What started as a joke.
Oh, I love football.
I liked Arsenal when I was a kid. When I went to Manchester City, I've been Man City through and through ever since. I think the term I use, I support Man City on there, Arsenal off air, which was on League of Their Own, on a format where we're having fun. And people are actually taking that as gospel. Like, I don't bleed Man City. It's madness to me. If City going for all competitions, I want Man City to win. The whole Arsenal thing, yes, I liked them as a kid, but it's the joke's gone too far now.
Some people, they're so tribal, though.
I don't understand.
The joke's gone too far. The joke's gone too far now. You answered the question I was going to ask. Is it a joke? Do we think it's a joke? Do we think there's something to it? Is he trying to save face? Is he trying to spin it? You know, PR. What's the deal? What are we thinking about Micah Richards?
Do you want me to go first?
I think this one is just him trying to save his job and keep relationships with the club.
Go ahead.
He's done so much in the past, like on Sky, on CBS. So if City wanted to sack him, they would have sacked him by now as an ambassador and brought in Joe Hart or made him Jolien, even though he's contracted to.
He's another one that's really good. I forgot to say that. Jolien Lescott is good too. I like him.
Oh yeah.
We also got Steph Horton. He's on Sky. Steph Horton. What's the other? Izzy. What's her surname? Izzy. What's her name?
I know you.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah,
the small blonde.
Yeah, we got a few. We got a few. Not as many as like the other clubs, but we still have a good representation. And Izzy Christensen, that's the one.
That's it.
Yeah, and like Micah's all funny and whatnot, but it's when it comes down to the crunch, like you can't really. He's like the others at Sky. And it's kind of like my thing of I'm wanting Sky to get dropped from the commercials. I'm really wanting it to be like, yeah, that's a whole different discussion. So, yeah.
So Snoopy posted this. He said, I like Micah. That said, my issue with him as a city rep is his seeming need to be fair. Just back us. It sucks when we're the subject of controversy and the guy that played for us won't defend us. Do you all agree? Because I think that's kind of the to a certain extent when no one else feels the need to be fair and balanced, to use a phrase. Why do you feel the need to be that way? Why can't you just back the club the way that they seem to just back their clubs? I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it
very
feels
noticeable.
Like. Yeah,
it's very noticeable, and it to me, it's not just Micah's personality is a little bit OTT for my liking. He's okay, but he's a little bit, I think that kind of over-the-top attitude sometimes it could, for some people, reflect badly on the club. I'd much prefer someone like Nedum's personality, calm, cool, very clever with what he introduces. Whereas you try and then look at what Micah brings, it's all kind of party time, which is okay, and there's a time and a place for that. But I much prefer Nedum's, analysis. It's I just like him as an individual more.
This is amazing. City of Angels, Citizen. This is an amazing comparison. So if you don't know Charles Barkley is a former NBA player, played for a couple clubs or a couple franchises, but he works for TNT alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith and some others. But he is very much the, make jokes, make whatever. You laugh at him. He says ridiculous things, whatever. Micah, maybe not the same types of things that he says, but he's there because of the energy that he brings. He's there because of the atmosphere that he creates, and just laughing and jokes and whatever, more so than like straight up analysis or anything like that. So this is an interesting comparison. I'm gonna need to bounce this off the dudes over at Shades of Blue to see what their thoughts are here, because this is actually I like this. I'm see if I can't star that. That's a really good take. I like that. But yeah, I just wanted to ask people's opinion on Micah Richards again. So again, this is Black History Month. I will tell you, as a newer City fan, starting in the 2013, was about when I started, 2012, 2013. Well, actually 2013 season is when I first started really watching. My daughter was playing, and so I started watching, going from there. So of course, you see the Yaya Torres, you see the Vincent Companies, you see people that look like you on the pitch, and it draws you to it. So when you see a Micah Richards in the studio, and he's a City fan, he played for City, I was really excited to see, and I don't mind laughing, I don't mind Charles Barkley, so I'm good with that. But then you keep hearing little small comments, and it's like, wait a minute. And then you realize what you really want is not Micah Richards. What you really want is Nedum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is the epitome of what I want to see from an ambassador.
Yeah.
He can be fair without minimizing the club. He doesn't have to make jokes about being an Arsenal fan off air or whatever. He doesn't have to do any of those things. Again, I don't know where Nedum grew up, so maybe he grew up in the Manchester area. I don't know. Maybe he's always been a fan since he was a little kid. I don't know the answer to that question. But it doesn't matter who else he might have liked when he was a youngster, or other teams that he's played for, because when he's on air, I know he's going to be fair to City, and he's going to make sure that if everybody else around is going too far to the left, he's going to pull us back right. He's going to make sure that we don't City's not going to be the butt of jokes when he's around. Yeah. And so Nedum came through our academy. Thank you, Snoopy. I appreciate that. Because that helps me. So yeah, again, what I appreciate is just knowing that you're not going to just sit there and let us be the butt of jokes, or you're the one creating the jokes or whatever. And so while maybe to Micah Richards this is a joke, and maybe to him it's gone too far, but for me as a City fan, I need something different from him. I need something better from him if he's gonna try to get back in good graces, because it's not working for me, and it doesn't sound like it's working for any of you all as well. So
correct.
The only good thing I've ever looked forward to with Micah was, and I don't think it might have been published, but the only thing I ever looked forward to him was right on time when Martin's here, he's going to hate me for saying this, was he did an interview, and Sky Sports F1 did it in their preview before the season started with him
For
interviewing Lewis Hamilton.
fuck's sake, why is he talking F1? Shut him up. Mute his mic. Mute his mic, Tariq. Mute his mic. He's talking F1.
It's not your son, Martin, so fuck you.
Tariq, are you going to allow that? How rude.
Wow, I was like, wow, we're like treating the guest off.
That was the only thing. I was looking
So
forward to.
Louis, you're here every week. Louis, you're here
I know.
every week. You're like a part of the show now. You can't treat the guest that way.
My apologies, but but that was the only time I actually looking forward to Michael Richards doing anything, and apart from that, it's been same old. So yeah, that's my thing.
So Martin, we're gonna end here in a minute,
Yes.
but I want to see if did you see Micah Richards' comments about needing to address what he called this joke about him being an Arsenal fan, and how he's ever since he started playing for City, he's been 100% bleeds City blue, bleeds for City, all this thing. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on Micah Richards as like a club ambassador?
I'm numb to it. I'm numb to it. I'm not gonna lie. Do I? As he probably over. The thing is, he plays a character on the TV, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Micah Richards, more than anyone, plays this character of, you know. I mean, the trouble is, we don't see a lot of the CBS stuff because we don't get CBS over there. Well, some do if you've got a dodgy box, Louis. You know, I don't see.
Martin's trying to
I
get
don't
Louis to
see a
jail.
lot of
That's
this.
what we're doing here.
Don't have the police showing up at his house, man. Come on, what are we doing?
I don't see a lot of the punditry. What I see is always just on social media. To me, I just think he plays a character. But I can tell you what's probably happened is someone's said something to him.
He said he got pelters was the word he used. Pelters from
Yeah,
City. I'm
I
assuming
think
that's
some
City
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some City fans have gone on and probably gone a bit OTT on the feedback, shall we say?
It has been
One
there for a
thing
while,
I'll say.
though. It has been there for a while though with Micah though. It has been done
One thing
like,
that I
for like
will-
a few years.
One
Go
thing
ahead,
that I
Sparkus.
will say with Micah is that though I don't buy the fact that he's saying that he doesn't support Arsenal and all those things, one thing is that I never actually watched the show with him because CBS is just not in Brazil. So all I've seen of Micah Richards is Twitter / YouTube or people sending me clips, and that loses a lot of its context behind
Sure.
the whole thing.
Sure.
So I don't know if, even though I don't buy it, I'm the best person to say anything about the subject because I, again, never really seen the guy live as a pundit. So I have to be fair in that regard.
What I'll tell you is, so again, he's on CBS Sports, and so they have the rights to the UCL or Champions League. So on nights like tonight or tomorrow night, every week, I'm watching him. He's there with Kate Scott, I believe now, used to be Kate Abdo, Terry Henry, and was it Jamie Carragher?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the panel that they're sitting, and it feels like when Kate, formerly Abdo, now Scott, is like the host, and she brings in everybody else. But when she's making comments about, so who are you supporting, Micah? Because it's Arsenal or Chelsea. So who are you supporting? Or not Arsenal or City. Who are you supporting? It's like it's this known running, whether you want to call it a running joke but it's this known thing that you've got these split allegiances, these split ties.
Loyalties.
Yeah, and so again, if it is a joke, he's right. It probably has gone too far, and he needs to be responsible for reining it in because again, it doesn't position him well in the eyes of City fans that watch him on a week-to-week basis. Now, again, I get it. Oh, you guys don't see him consistently, but for me, Again, he went from being one of my favorites because I do love the energy. I love all that. And he's a City fan. So it's finally somebody in the media that's repping City. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you doing as much for these guys as you are for anybody else. When we start talking about who's going to win the league and you talking about Arsenal or whatever else, I don't want to hear that. I need you to go hard for City. So it's I
get it's either for me. Magnus will know what I mean by this. I've watched him from day dot, and I've met him. I've actually met Micah Richards, and he's solidly a really nice guy, really nice guy, and he does love City. He absolutely does love City. And I was there for his debut goal against Villa in Villa Park. I only know that because I broke my leg nearly on the seats. So we was getting again both against Villa for some weird reason. Maybe I was going to stop celebrating against Villa. But I mean, I don't know. It's a weird one with him because again, I think he's overcooked his character a bit too much. He's overcooked it, and there was no need for it. But I don't. Again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to sound like a very old uncle, so my apologies. I don't think he probably deserves what he's got on social media out of this either. I don't think having a laugh with your mates on. I don't think that deserves. And listen, I've heard some of the stuff that's been said, and some of it wasn't just banter. Some of it was quite nasty comments.
Yeah, that of course
to him and his family.
To be fair, I don't want anyone being abused, whether that be racially or any other way. I'm not for that at all. I do think, like I said, I think that if it is a joke, it has gone too far, and I think he should be responsible for kind of reining it in. Because again, I want to see someone who is not afraid to rep Man City to the fullest and not, feel the need to be split allegiances. And I think maybe part of that too is being a City fan from the US. You always get hit with the plastic fan, all those things.
Yeah.
And so again, I need him to
can I chuck a question back to the panel? Can I chuck a question back to the panel?
Sure.
Yeah.
Difference between him and what Yaya Toure did.
So Yaya Toure. So you're asking the panel, but for me, I'm so Yaya Toure is not one of my favorite players. I think what he did on the pitch was amazing, but I didn't like the way that he left and all of that. Right. So the comments from his agent, the birthday cake, all the things.
And his wife recently.
See, I haven't heard anything about his wife, but just so I'm not a fan of how Yaya Toure conducts himself in public now after his career is over with. Right. The difference for me though is, well, one of the differences, I think the biggest difference for me is that Micah Richards is in front of a camera every single weekend. Every single week he's in front of a camera, and it often feels like, it is, I won't say anti-City because that's going too far, but it's just not, 100% fully backing City. So that part, I think, is because he's always on my TV. I'm expecting more from him. Whereas Yaya Toure, again, I don't agree with what he said, but he can say whatever he wants to say. Just like Akanji can say what he wanted to say this week, and everybody else can have their thoughts. Quite honestly, even when KDB left, he had a little something to say. But again, it is what it is. I think for me, I just think, and maybe my expectations are wrong, but when I see all these Liverpool fans or Liverpool players, ex-Liverpool players who get up there and talk about Liverpool, these ex-Arsenal players who get there and talk about Arsenal, these ex-United players that get up there and talk about United, when I get a ex-City player up there, I want them to rep us and back us the way that those other players rep and back their clubs. because if we don't, it just continues to be unbalanced towards those other clubs. That's what I'm looking for, and I don't feel like I've gotten from him, and that's why I said, give me Natum, give me Joe Hart, give me Jolene Lescott, because I feel like those guys do a better job of that.
I
The
agree
one
with
thing
that.
that I
Terry.
will say, is that, to be fair, I don't have anything against the fact that if he doesn't believe that City will win, he doesn't predict that City will win, and I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. I don't think he should be saying things he doesn't believe just to back the club. If he doesn't believe something, then I think firstly you back what you believe, then you back the club. I don't think I don't have a problem with that, to be honest.
The problem I've got with Micah, and I kind of touched on it before, is that because he's a kind of larger than life character, and the party's here and blah, because Micah's here and blah blah blah. He bounces off Jamie Carragher and stuff like that. I just feel that I think, especially rival fans, will look to him and go, "Well, he's a bit of a joker, this guy. I'm not going to take anything seriously what comes out of his mouth, right?" And consequently, I think that will reflect back on the club. And it's like, the club he's an ambassador. He's on the payroll of the club. And I don't particularly like that. I think we already are up against the wall with 115 and issues like that. We don't want to kind of make things a little bit worse for ourselves. I think there are better people out there to do a job of representing the club than Micah Richards. That's just my personal opinion on that. And
is this about Torre or this must be about Torre? Yeah, Torre. Okay.
See, the reason I do it is because some will remember this, some won't. Would you say Lee Dixon talks well about us, or does he talk about Arsenal like they're the greatest thing going?
He's quite. I find him.
He's a City fan, isn't he? He's a City fan, isn't he?
And his dad
but
played
he backs
for the
Arsenal.
club as well. Yeah, well.
No, Lee Dixon never played for the club.
No, his dad.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think we're looking. And by the way, this Yaya stuff wasn't. Caldoun fell out with Yaya as well. It wasn't just Pep. If you remember, there was a mosaic up at the training ground, and it all got taken down. Do you ever see Yaya get invited back?
No.
My point is in it all. I think people look at Yaya differently because of the success that he brought. Micah Richards was not part of that success. He was part of a crap City team.
Well, he said it. He said it before though. He said it before though on with Alan and Gary on the BBC podcast that they had together. He regretted not signing that contract in 2015, was it?
Yeah, because he ended up going to Villa, right?
Yeah. So you make the decisions. Sometimes it goes sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't, and it didn't work out for him. And you have to live by those decisions. And if it makes you into the person that you want to be, yeah.
By the way, Miami Snoopy, Lee Dixon is a City fan through and through, not an Arsenal fan.
Apologies again, Martin, for earlier.
You
by
think?
The way.
No, you're not to put mate. It's only banter. Don't be daft.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's to do with eras. I think it's just to do with eras and what you've done for the club and what the club happened then. I just think that's what it is. I think, because, let's be honest, I know people who think Paul Dickoff is one of the biggest tosspots walking when you meet him. Kevin Orlock. You obviously have all seen what happened with Kevin Orlock and the story behind that. Why aren't the club helping Kevin Orlock?
Yeah.
I just think... do I think he's been silly? Yeah. Do I think he's taking it too far? Yeah. I just think we're getting too encroached in certain things now. That's how pundits have always been dicks. Pundits were dicks for 30 years ago. Look at Andy Gray and Richard Keys. It is what it is. It's just people are idiots and they'll say stuff on camera. I just think, and I also feel like it's like actresses here and actors. You look at them on the TV, and because they're on your screens every week. I mean, I'm going to sound so big-headed here. Like when I do shows every single day, people think they know me personally. They don't, but they think they know you because they see you every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair.
Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's a weird dynamic.
When they meet you at the game in the stadium at the
Yeah.
Etihad, then they're like, "Wait a minute, Martin's not the guy I thought he was."
Yeah, Martin's calling me a knobhead.
Why is Martin not willing to take a picture with me?
Yeah, that's. I just think it's. I think we look at people on the TV and we look at them like. It's like. I mean, I think that's with all players now. I think all fan bases are the same. I mean, did you see the big hoo-ha the other day when Gary Neville said, "Oh, he thinks Arsenal winning the Etihad," and then every other reply was City fans going, "You would say that, you rag." It's like it's just his opinion.
Yeah, I got that video too, but I'm not gonna play it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is 9:24 p.m. here in the U.S. in the Eastern time zone, which makes it what is that 2:24 over there?
Hey, he's good.
So you guys, we are going to end this so that you guys can get some sleep. I am concerned about your well-being. I need you to get some sleep because that's how you get better. I
wanted to hear Spartacus's 40-minute monologue on Donnarumma. I'm joking. No, I don't.
No,
I can do it. I can do it, Martin.
No.
We are not going to
Let
talk
Tarek
about.
sleep.
To
Let
be
Tarek
fair, if you do meet Martin on the game, you're gonna be surprised at a 5'1" guy.
5'1".
Maybe I thought he was a little bit taller, but I guess
5'1".
Look,
How tall are you for real,
I'm not
Martin?
fucking Oompa Loompa.
I need
How tall are you for real?
Martin. I need to take a picture.
Martin,
I need to take a
5'9"?
picture beside you so that I can look 6 foot.
I am 5'7", 5'8".
Okay. All right.
So he's
How
like
tall are you,
5'4", 5'3".
Spartacus, how tall are you?
5'3".
I have no clue how much that is. I'm 175. I don't know how much that is
Oh.
in inches.
Yeah,
So
then
175.
Hey, my other half's only 4'8". My other half wasn't Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka. She literally was.
Martin,
Wait a minute. Hold
Hold
on. If you're 175, that says 175 is 5'8" or 5'9". So if he's saying he's 5'7" or 5'8", and you're telling me that you tower over him,
No, I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I need to look like I'm 6 foot, so I need Martin beside me.
Hey, I'll tell you, my missus is so small. She goes in a garden centre and gets put next to the pond. It's quite scary. Some won't get that.
These are hilarious.
What are we doing?
Hilarious.
She gets a
All
fishing
right,
rod in the red hat.
we are going to shut it down. We've gone for 2 hours, 54 minutes. Last week we went for 3. You guys are.
You're not talking Bernardo's extension.
See, I was going to ask this. I was going to ask this, Tarek, before you close everything down. Just ask Martin if he's got any transfer news.
Well, yeah. So tell us the breaking news, Martin. What do we need to know? So do you think he's going to sign a contract extension? Seriously?
Glasses on. It's official.
These are my ITK glasses. Martin Romano.
Is that kind of like Superman when he puts his glasses on? People think he's Clark Kent. You don't really know who he is.
I just can't see the bloody screen, so he can go in black.
Oh, there you go.
It's called old age, mate.
You see, I got mine.
98% sure.
No,
Sorry.
Keeler, behave now. It's not 98, 99. No, right. The club have offered Bernardo a new extension to his reps.
What? That doesn't surprise me. From the club's perspective, they would probably want to keep him. I don't anticipate him signing it. I think it's one of those things. I appreciate the offer. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Benfica.
I'm not
That's
sure.
What I think is gonna happen.
I'm not sure.
Look at his face.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Yeah. I mean,
It's all right. I'll say it. I think he will sign it, and I think he'll leave. The wording I got in the email was, and I will show you the email tomorrow, Tariq, off there, was Bernardo won't abandon Pep.
ooh.
Oh, those photographs.
And there's also another thing to it, Eric. There's also
And also, I
another
think
thing to it,
Rodri's
Eric.
leaving as well. I don't think they're going to lose Rodri and Bernardo in the same window.
Yeah.
Martin, let's not forget that Benfica doesn't have the money to pay what Bernardo wants as well right now.
No one has three.
So
Juventus don't have 300 grand a week to pay him either.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So,
it's
so
not
to be
always
fair,
a situation.
Can't CM Punk help with WWE's help get into Chicago Fire?
That's when you might as well reveal it now. I'm like, bollocks, I've already done it. Sorry. I've actually already just done it. Sorry, that's way behind you.
so yes, if there's no money from Benfica to pay what he wants, then I think he very strongly might consider an extension, or he might consider those other options. If Benfica
It's
was
virtually
truly on the
agreed,
table,
Tariq,
Yeah.
it's virtually agreed.
Okay. yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Rodri, they don't think Rodri's going to extend.
So then I'll ask you what we
So-
asked earlier is, if he's not going to extend, do you sell him now? If you're Viana, does Viana sell him in the summer?
Viana will sell
Or
him now.
because
Viana will sell him.
Barcelona, we saw the tweet about Barcelona wanting him to come in for free.
Hugo Viana will want to sell in the summer. It will not allow him to go out on a free. If they do, then Pep's won that battle. Pep wouldn't mind going out on a free, but obviously Viana does.
I said if Cheeky was still here, he would go on a free.
If Cheeky was still here, we'd go on a free. Viana's very different. The other thing I got was.
Okay, it's since you said some things, I'm gonna say some things that I got from the Barcelona parts. The one thing that I got from Barcelona is he would far rather go to Barcelona than to go to Madrid. So, un segundo, por favor. So he would be willing to be on to stay at City for the next season, and as you said, Pep would play him. He wouldn't be on the bench. And if he doesn't agree a deal, there's nothing Viana can do to move him out. As much as Viana wants to move players out, if the player doesn't want to go, if the player doesn't agree for a deal, just like what happened to Stones and Ake and Lewis, they're gonna stay. And a player of Rodri's caliber, he's not gonna be on the bench. So I can absolutely see him staying for 12 more months and going out on a free, regardless of what Viana wants.
Yeah. Again,
it depends what you're willing to sell him for, Spartacus.
Barcelona's not going to pay anything for him.
No, but Real Madrid will.
But he would rather go to Barca than Madrid. That's the wording that I've got.
I disagree with that. I think, I know everyone's got this thing of, well, Real Madrid betrayed him. They treated him badly.
I want to.
But doesn't give a monkey's
his
about
wife or
This
girlfriend or whatever.
is my thing, though. This is my thing, though. If you're like, I get your point from it, but the fact that it's Rodri that's won it, doesn't that feel like a bit like a disrespect to him? And if they put in then like if they put in their statement like we apologize to Man City and like Rodri, but we're against be firm.
No,
they didn't.
Rodri didn't take any slight out of that. So there was no slight from represent.
And I think I don't know if it's wife, girlfriend, whatever, his missus, and to Snoopy, he's saying the same thing.
She's got a job in Madrid, I believe.
Yeah, got a job in Madrid. So if that, I'm not over in Europe, so I don't know how far from Madrid to Barcelona that is. But, if you can be in the same city, why not? So anyway.
But from what I heard, he very much values the stability that Barcelona has at the moment over the chaos that Madrid has.
What stability?
That's Hansi Flick. Flick is giving the stability to Barca.
Half the fans want him out.
Yeah, but he's not going out.
Right, but I wouldn't say it's all bad. I wouldn't say it's all sweetness and light in Barcelona right now, mate.
Inside the camp, it is. Martin,
Well, you've seen what fan bases can do, Sparkus.
yes, but they're not going to do this to Rodri, Lamine, Yamal, and Pedri. They're not going to do this to them.
So we have hit the 3-hour mark. We're going to go ahead.
That means shut up going on about transfers. He wants to go out.
Well, no, we're going to go ahead and end it though. But the conversation continues. I will tell you that on tomorrow, it is Stateside Blues. Are we doing tomorrow, right, Martin?
Yes, we are, and we'll do a little bit of news. But we're going to do kits, your best and worst kits throughout the years.
Interesting.
We're going to make it a bit more fun.
So we need all of you to be there.
To wear your kits tomorrow. I need everyone in kits tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
There's a uniform.
Pull it out. So tomorrow at is it 6 o'clock Eastern time, and so 11 o'clock p.m.
Yes,
UK time?
11 p.m. UK. Next week, by the way, just a bit of breaking news for you all. I'm not here. I'm not on screen at all next week. I've got to go into hospital to do a little something. But Ed's going to host the show next week. I haven't told Ed yet, but he's going to.
Oh, yeah. Good on you, Mike.
He'll be good. He'll be good.
Well, Tariq, I might get Ed and Tariq as a little tag team.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
There you go. No, he'll be fine.
I think I like it. It'll be fine. But I'll help out anyway.
Well,
I can. Yeah.
We might have Magnus joining us as well. I'm still waiting on Magnus's decision on whether he's coming on yet, Tariq. I'm waiting.
Well, yes, we'll see. I might.
Martin, give me the keys and nobody will talk about Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I wouldn't give you the keys. I wouldn't give you the keys to my sad shed at the minute, you.
So I asked a question when we first started, or early in the show. I asked the question: who would you rather face in the next round of the UCL, Bodo Glimt or the Real Madrid Benfica winner?
Madrid.
You said Madrid's Spartacus.
Easier game. Yes.
So Bodo Glimt have 66% of the vote. The Real Madrid / Benfica winner got 34%.
Sorry, my head's just exploded. What Spartacus just said there?
He said it's going to be an easier game against Real Madrid than it would against Bodo Glimt. And to be fair, I understand what you're saying, and so I actually started out saying Bodo Glimt as well, but then I remembered Kylian Mbappe in on goal. I remembered Vinny Jr. in on goal. I remembered Rodrigo scoring against us when he can't score anywhere else. I remember all of those things, and so then I remembered, you know what? I actually think I got that wrong. It might actually be a harder match against Real Madrid.
What?
Give me.
So you'd rather have Real Madrid at the Etihad than Bodo Glimt?
No,
you know that Mbappe's like
the same guy who slates Ziju against Real Madrid all the time.
Yeah, give me both.
You know that Kylian Mbappe
all the time.
Martin, you know that Kylian Mbappe is probably not going to be fit for the first leg, which is at the Bernabeu. That team without Mbappe can't do shit.
Yeah,
so they got Bommy missing and Kylian Mbappe missing.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't care about the Champions League. We've got 2 trophies to win first: the league and the Carabao. Come on.
We're a lot more likely to win the Champions League.
We've got Leeds to worry about too, as well. That's my worry. Leeds.
Gotta win them all. All right.
Leeds, yeah.
We'll
talk about Leeds.
Going to end it now.
We'll talk about Leeds tomorrow as well.
Yeah. I'm really going to end it now. Thank you so much, everyone. If you haven't already, if this is your first time here, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It does help me as a wannabe content creator as I'm trying to build.
You're not a wannabe. Stop that.
You're doing
no, I mean, I'm trying to grow up and be like you guys. I really am. So I need your help.
Be like Spartacus. What? Run an agenda.
Jerry, you're not quite the influencer that Martin is.
Yeah, I know.
So again, level yet.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you who are here every single week, your support. Thank you so much to the community that we continue to build out here. And so thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening. And we'll see you again tomorrow on Martin's channel for Stateside Blues.
Well, that was